Welcome to Storm King's Thunder, where me and a bunch of my nerdy-ass friends get together and we play Dungeons & Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons?
Dungeons & Dragons! Brandon, you need to do it. Brandon.
It's a requirement to keep your rolls high.
My boss is literally right behind.
Alright, I'll allow it. Oh, is that your... look at that. Okay. Look at all them screens.
Yeah,
See,
like
you
a
could
setup.
put Roll20 on 3 of those and you'd be fine. Like, no one would notice.
That's cool.
Holy
That's
dick
goals.
balls, my dude. No, that's migraine. Like, how do you better have a blue filter on them glasses.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
It.
Nice.
They
I got mine done last week, blue filtered. It's pretty
Yeah,
neat.
no, it's necessary. Jeez. Last week on session 21 of our adventure, we had quite a good time. Bergen had a bit of an unusual dream to start us off. Some spooky shit. You guys, Ember was reborn. Once again a chick and no longer the adolescent bird that it had been. You guys were able to get some things sorted out in your city before Goldbrind did a little bit of digging around with his prescience, trying to learn some things. That was, of course, on your way to the Misty Forest, where you knew a young green dragon was sort of terrorizing the locals, and was close enough to your keep to be a threat. So you guys set out, sailing through the towering sequoia trees and the smaller pines and the thick sea of mist, catching a glimpse of it before it challenged you to head down into its den and fight it on its own territory. You did so, tracking it down along a cliffside where it revealed that you were outnumbered, as several blights arose from the landscape and fought alongside the green dragon against you. You all managed to make pretty short work of the blights, and then as the battle with the blight had some of my favorite interactions, particularly Bergen's grovel command, which was still gets me worked up. And where it professed its name to you, Valora, the venom of the mist, and begged for you to spare it. What was that?
No, nothing.
You guys, after Davos was able to finish off the dragon, thanks to some clever use of fairy fire and guiding bolt, you guys proceeded to rip out its insides, gathering up its glands, its skull, and a few of its talons. On the way home, however, you received word, or particularly Davos received word, that Oralbar had been attacked by stone giants, and the people of the city were sequestered in Loudwater, not far off. You proceeded to Loudwater, where at the Smiling Satyr Inn, you ran into a very old friend of yours, who, while not in the city during the attack, was also from there, Timpani, Steadyfist, half-orc woman with bright red hair, who told you someone attempted to kidnap her a couple of nights ago. She was attacked, and that she had fought them off, but it had rattled her and left her sort of unable to play her music. But Davos was able to get the best of her and have a rousing little concert that inspired her to join him up and to proceed with you guys to find the rest of the citizens of Loudwater. Upon which you found out that Timpani was not the only one who was attacked, that several people have gone missing, and that the only place anyone can think to garner any additional information is a disgusting bar known as the Filthy Ferret. You proceeded in, discovered a Black Lion Uthgard behind the bar, who told you he didn't know nothing about anything, and told you that he minds his damn business. However, upon hearing you ask for Nim the Rat, several of the more thuggish figures within the bar became aggressive. But with some smooth diplomacy from Davos, as well as some veiled threats, you were able to intimidate him into giving you the information you needed. And he told you that some people had paid him off to smuggle some refugees outside the walls. And he revealed that there was a hidden passageway in the back end of the bar buried behind a few crates. And that, my dude, is we're going to pick up tonight's session. Anybody want to add? Any Anything memorable from last session that I left off?
BDSM Bergen is best Bergen.
BDSM Bergen is best Bergen. That is a fact. Wow, that's the fan. You see, this is why we need a following, because I need that fan art in my life. All right. With that, my dudes. Within the port city of Loudwater, nestled in the corner of the River Delambere and the city wall, there lies a foul and repulsive tavern called the Filthy Ferret. Known to locals as a Zent meeting house, it is often overlooked by those who would prefer the warmer ambience and fine music of the Smiling Satyr Inn. Within this den of sin lies a particularly foul creature dubbed Nim the Rat, who has been paid off to allow kidnappers to smuggle refugees out of the city through a concealed passage in the back wall. Behind the wall, after shifting the crates, you see a wrought iron portcullis. In the first few feet of the walkway that descends sharply through the underside of the stone parapet that encompasses the city. Beyond that passage, it turns to tightly packed dirt and levels out into a circular tunnel roughly 8 feet in diameter. The passage is unlit and emits a perfume of stale air and earth. Do you gentlemen wish to do anything before you proceed within the tunnel?
Devin wants to shake down Nim for all that coin you just mentioned, but Goldbrand's not going to do that.
Oh, yeah. He did warn you that time is of the essence, that these people already have 2 days lead on you, and if they get much further, if they get to any crossroads, you'll have no way of tracking them, and they'll disappear into the mist with the woman that Davos loves.
He also said they're heading west, right?
Westward, correct. All right. So you gentlemen proceed into the tunnel, I assume?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe so.
I would think so, yeah. Out of the tunnel and straight west.
As you descend, the tunnel winds just slightly, but stays fairly straight as you carry on down. The air is moist and thick, and feels heavy in your lungs. It tastes sour in your mouths. You walk for about 100 feet or so, when in the distance, you hear the clang of metal on metal, and a sharp click. You gather that Nim has sealed your way out, at least through the rear. When you entered the Filthy Ferret, it was nearly dusk. You walk down this tunnel for half an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours. You begin to lose track. To Tally in particular, it's especially unnerving, which catches him a bit off guard. You guys have heard Tally tell stories that he was always more comfortable underground than in the wood, which for a wood elf is rather odd, but he seems very tense and uneasy. Sometime after what you'd wager is about midnight, the tunnel broadens up, becoming a small cavern of about 40 feet wide, with a subterranean river running to the far side of it, as well as a collection of fungi and mosses that lap at the river's tumbling spray. On the opposite end of the hollow, to your left and right, are 2 caves. Bergen, you would notice that there are several small, deep holes in this cavern, each only about an inch across and at least 6 inches deep. You start to recognize them as not unlike a tent spike, but they're spaced out too far apart and at unusual angles. And you do gather that they set up camp here, or someone did, though it's difficult to gauge the numbers. You also spot a small, scorched segment of dirt along one wall, away from most of the holes. The ashes are cool to the touch, and no embers remain. You also mark this as odd, as there are no wooded plants within the cave. The weariness from the day begins to hit you. You gather that you can either rest for the night, or continue for a few more hours at the expense of exhausting yourselves, potentially exhausting yourselves. And you need to decide whether you're going left or right.
Can we investigate for any other tracks?
Sure. Pick one to investigate first, left or right. Okay. The left tunnel looks slightly smaller. Or actually, I'm sorry, go ahead and roll an investigation check or a survival check. I'll let you pick to see how much you glean from this. If you need to, we can roll it for you.
Said investigation.
Or survival, whichever you prefer. And someone can choose to help him if they would like to give him advantage.
Showing a 19 plus 2, 21.
Solid. Okay. With that high, you notice the tunnel is slightly smaller and rougher cut than the cavern that you entered through, and it appears to decline ever so faintly as it bends out of sight. You see a set of prints exiting the tunnel, and then 3 going back in. It seems to be at least a day ago, and it's sort of muffled between several other prints that are much older, but you also gather that this tunnel leading down likely means it connects somehow to the Underdark.
Goldbrind will go to the other tunnel.
Okay.
Since while Davos was looking at the left one, Goldbrind will go look at the right one. 23 survival check.
Excellent, both over 20. The right tunnel appears to be of a similar diameter as the one you entered through. It appears to curve slightly up and towards the left, as if continuing in the same direction you were headed. With that score, you see numerous sets of footprints. It's difficult to say how many, because again, this is prints layered on prints layered on prints. There is no natural water that gets in through here to wash old prints away.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to have been there for, you would gather, at least a full day. So now you must decide.
Goes up,
Proceed
goes down.
outward, proceed down, or rest in the tunnel for the night. If you proceed, you will have to make some constitution checks to see if you can sustain that pace without exhausting yourselves.
I imagine Davos probably wants to make up the most of the moment.
I don't know. I know without resting. How many points of exhaustion before you die?
6. Several points of exhaustion. You know that at one level of exhaustion, because you guys have been exhausted before, maybe not all of you, but some of you in the group have. You know that with the first level of exhaustion, you have disadvantage on ability checks. Not saving throws, not attacks, just ability checks. At 2 points of exhaustion, your speed is halved. At 3 is where you begin to get disadvantage on attacks and other things. And then it just gets more severe as you go.
How many points of exhaustion can you get in one day?
It depends on the circumstances. To continue at the rate, you're not going to get more than 2, I will tell you. Just so you can... So at worst, your speed will be halved, but that's if you fail both checks.
This is obviously important to you, so we should keep going.
I'm down to
To
keep
the
going if
right?
you guys are.
Yeah.
Hell
To the
yeah,
right.
to the right.
All right. To the right, to the right, to the right, to the right. Everyone roll 2 con saves for me.
Here is
How many?
Goldbrand's 2. I can do tallies too.
Okay.
Open
Okay. I've got it for this one, but if you'll run him for the rest of it.
This is go. Wait, you said save. Hold on, that was the wrong thing.
Yes, correct. Save, not normal checks.
Oh, it's the same. It's the same anyway. So a 14 and an 11. Let me go get
Did you
tally
roll-
pulled up here.
Okay, I see you've got it there. Davos, if you can roll 2 saves as well, my dude.
One's a
I got
14.
a 16 and a 14.
16.
They're in-
Oh, I'm sorry. I can look at this on roll 20, can't I?
Yeah, it's on D&D Beyond. I don't know if it sends it to roll 20.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had the thing collapse. Okay, 16 and 14. All right, Davos, you're good on both counts. Goldbrand, you are good on both counts. Bergen, you do suffer 1 point of exhaustion, which means you have disadvantage on ability checks like perception, investigation, animal handling, anything in that little column.
Right.
Armor. Clink, clink, clink.
Taliband fails 1 as well. You probably can't mark that, can you, Devin?
No, I can't actually edit into one sheet of my own.
I don't even see where you put it, if I'm being honest.
I don't think you do.
I thought there was a
Goodness.
marker here for it. Huh. Perhaps I'm wrong. Just help me remember that he also has a point of exhaustion.
Hurt.
Right. You continue down the tunnel for another 4 hours, and you gather that you gain about a half day's travel on them. But at this point, You guys were flying for the entire day before, not exuding too much physical effort in the process, but conscious. And as you get further in, I'm sorry, I've got to skip a bunch of stuff that I had planned for Tally. I'll rehome that. A few hours into your march, the air begins to smell sweeter, and you see faint sunlight at the very end of the tunnel. As the tunnel rises, it shifts once again to stone, as you realize the pathway has been carved from large boulders and hidden with shrubs and fallen logs. You push past the bushes and emerge to the cool night air and see that it's just before dawn. Perhaps 10 yards away is the Dellenbeer River, and this area is protected by a small outcropping of trees. If you look around the rock, you would see the Dellenbeer Road behind it, out of sight from the mouth of the tunnel, but close enough to quickly get on and continue. You also notice hoofprints and cart tracks that lead to the road nearby.
This agains.
This agains?
As in, like, people in carts.
Mm-hmm.
People being stolen in carts.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
What do you gentlemen do?
Oh, them
Try to-
tracks.
Okay, if you follow the tracks, you're going to have to make another con save.
Oh,
Ooh.
maybe we take a little rest.
Yeah,
I will
got
say,
rest.
They
since
also have
Talia's
to
not
stop at some
here,
point too.
I'm going to roll a perception check for Tally real quick. His passive is just...
Wait a second. You keep going, I'm looking at something.
Ooh, 27. Damn. Okay.
Never mind.
Well, with that, Tally points to the eastern skies. And you can see the Westwind Wyvern. And even in the distance, Loudwater. Just faintly, but the Westwind Wyvern floating above the city stands out. And you realize that you have a method of communicating with them.
What's it? Papa Xanax, take a flight.
Shit, dog.
Basically. If you, how do you proceed? I don't want to walk you through all of it necessarily.
We should, if Tally points it out, Goldbrind, like, we should call those bastards. We can take some naps and continues, and actually maybe he even sees the
Yeah, search for him in the sky.
search for them.
100%.
That smarty ass bitch. Devin knows her name, but Goldbrand's gonna call her that smarty ass bitch in the crow's nest.
Oh, Kaya.
Yeah.
All right. So, Tally takes out the sending stone from the bag of holding and speaks into it. Tajin, we are just to the west of Loudwater. We have exited through some subterranean tunnel and are in pursuit of slavers.
Goldbrind uses produce flame to, like, maybe not throw, but toss a flare, so to speak.
Yeah.
A blue
Produce
flame.
flame, you might have a little bit of difficulty, but you do have a fire spell that is made to make things easier to see.
I do. You talking about fairy fire?
Yeah.
I do, but Goldbrind does not have many spell slots.
Okay, don't worry about it.
He can throw that produce flame 30 feet, so it goes 30 feet in the air.
But they're also quite
Long
a
way
ways
away.
away. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Maybe
You
hold
hear
off.
Tajin's voice come back in through the sending stone, and it says, "We will head to the west and continue to keep an eye out for you. If you stick to the road, we should be able to find you rather easily. We will be there momentarily."
And we're on the road, right? And we're not.
You're about
Road.
30 yards away.
Right,
Not
okay.
not
So
too
we're-
terribly far, but off enough to where everyday travelers wouldn't stumble across this tunnel. It takes about an hour and a half before the Westwind Wyvern is close enough to where they lower down and drop rope ladders off the side. You gentlemen climb up wearily, and I imagine collapse somewhere onto the desk. They do have sleeping quarters, but imagine y'all want to stick close to the deck to stay abreast of news
Dogpile.
and get your rest.
Dogpile on Goldbrind.
No sheep to cuddle, they gotta cuddle you. You actually hear like the dwarf fellow. Fucking sheeps are nice. I don't know why we could not keep the few. They're very cuddly. Make good pillow. Um. Do. You hastily continue westward, and the full day passes slowly.
Well,
Most of which is spent.
when they got up there, Goldbrind would want to make sure to stress that they needed to be looking out for a not caravan, but he would explain what they're looking for, and he would tell, he would hope that someone would go in the crow's nest. Doesn't have to be Kaya, but
Absolutely. When you guys are picked up, Kaya is already up and about in her appointed position as spotter. Excuse me. As the next full day passes, you rotate through a few, allowing the crew to rest and picking up the roles that you had learned. You guys managed to cover good ground, not having to stop and continue travel for the entire day. Most of the day is spent leaning over the railings in the deck and scanning the passing road and countryside for any sign of the kidnappers. You spot a few merchants and couples traveling together, most headed toward Loudwater, and none with enough of a cart to conceal anything unseen. The first day draws to a close. You all have a restless night of sleep, but do manage to get a full rest. If you suffered a point of exhaustion, you can take that off now. 1 point, which I think nobody had too, so we're good there. Goldbrand, do you want to do anything with the overnight?
yeah,
Okay.
because he can do it and then go to sleep, right? He doesn't have a point of exhaustion, but I guess the exhaustion applies the next day. He's gonna do the one thing he didn't get to do last time, which was portals that are going to be opening soon. He's not gonna, because he knows that they're gonna be potentially in a sticky situation. I don't think he's gonna take more than one hit. He knows they're doing something important. Let me double check to make sure, because 3 hits is disadvantage. What is 2 hits?
I would like to use the crystal ball to maybe try to see where Helena is at.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Both of you roll for, actually, she has to roll for that, doesn't she? Where'd my dice go? Yeah, Goldbrand, you do have to roll. Go ahead and do yours.
He's gonna take 2 hits, so he gets to roll advantage. But he has -1 to initiative for 24 hours. So don't even forget.
-1 to initiative.
For 24 hours. So at advantage, and this gets +2. Both of those roll? Or just...
They're the same. So 15, which isn't bad. And I will roll for Helena real quick. Is it a 17, Davos? I'm pretty sure that's right.
I think so. It's probably +5 since I'm familiar with her.
That is true. So she has to beat a 12. They have to beat? It is a wisdom save on their end.
17 + 5?
It's a -5 to the check if you're familiar with them.
No, I think it is. It's
works.
+5. No, like she has to roll a 23 to resist it.
I think it's a 17. It's a normally a 12, but then you add 5. So she
Make it
has to beat a
17.
17.
I see what you're saying, yeah. Let me double check that just to make sure we're right.
Yeah.
I'll
I
read it aloud.
can't pull it up. It's just...
While touch it, you cast the scrying spell with a spell save DC of 17. If you are familiar with the... Oh, wait, that's for the mind reading. Okay. If you are familiar with the target, the DC drops by 5.
Drops?
It's weird the way it's worded, because it is a wisdom save that they have to make. Okay. Either way, I imagine you do this during the day's ride. You ponder and peer into the ball, and it's difficult to stay awake, to stay focused, to hone in on it, and use this still somewhat unfamiliar arcane source of energy. And once again, as you're staring into it, it's not the ball itself that initially catches your eye, but the sunlight hitting it, shining a bit, reflecting a bit onto your armor. Just a little prism of chromatic light that begins to shift and twist and give shape as you see the familiar form of Helena. shackled. Somewhere dim, but you see speckles of bright light that pierces perhaps a cloth or canvas that is covering her. You see there are figures to either side that you can't make out, rough, undefined, and she seems to be seated on an actual bench as opposed to on the ground. She shifts a bit. Not her moving, but perhaps the vehicle. It's difficult to say where precisely she is, but you know that she is still on the wagon, presumably continuing west. The spell unfortunately does not reveal a location to you, as far as a pinpoint of where she would be. But you do see her alive, and while frightened, perhaps a little gaunt, eyes bloodshot, she's all right. Goldbrand.
But before you get started real quick, the negative modifier is to the roll itself, not the DC.
Thank you. That makes much more sense. Okay. I was about to say, that doesn't make any sense that it would drop the DC, but okay, I see.
So we'll have to look that one up.
So she did fail either way. She had a 13. I was like, that beats the 12, but that's not how that's supposed to work. I don't get that. But anyhow, you wanted to see where portals would be opening up, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. You peer into your slate, reflecting the night sky as stars fleck by. And it's weird, you've never done this while in motion. Or no, you have done it a couple of times, but it's still unfamiliar to you, unusual, yeah. And the stars slowly drift by, bit by bit by bit. And as the bloodweed takes its full effect, you begin to get visions. The first one is of a wood with towering trees, veiled in mist. That seems, well, the exact location is not familiar. The forest itself strongly resembles the Misty Forest. The second vision reveals a decrepit keep. Very unfamiliar. Tall towers, walls, wrought iron gates. And you see people stumbling about. With the 15, it's hard to discern exactly what, but they don't seem natural. And the third vision is of a place mountainous, snow-capped, rolling hills. And it resembles the spine of the world, which of course is a massive geological feature. This could be anywhere from probably about a 500 or 600 mile stretch of mountain range. But in none of them, you don't see mushrooms in any of them that you have come to recognize as sort of the side effect of these Fey portals. And I believe that's all you'll get from that.
That's good enough. Enough that me and Tally can talk about what to do next.
Correctamundo. Let me make one note real quick because I forgot something. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Okay.
So there are mounds that coincide with each of these areas too that are probably missing their things.
Make an investigation check for me as
Gross.
you ponder your thoughts. Yeah, you gather their mounds are somehow tied to it. If a portal is going to appear, then you assume whatever mound is closer to it is probably lacking.
Yeah.
I did do a thing where, if you look at your map, I tried to mark every stand that you know of that has been raided. So if you look to the northeast, you see Great Worm Cavern, Raven Rock. Rough ideas of where they are, granted. Morgar's Mound and the Neverwinter Woods. Flint Rock, southeast of the Evermore, southwest. Stone Stand itself.
Mm-hmm.
But you just find something curious about the Misty Forest. Your people dominate the northern end of this country, and Faerun continues down hundreds of miles south.
This is technically only half a map of it.
Correct. Yeah, beneath Daggerford, there's still an entire
half continent.
It's weird, but with a 9, that's what you get. All right. Let's see. Just before high noon on the second day, you hear Kaya whistle. And you see in the distance the town of Secumber. But just before it on the road, you see a covered wagon that looks eerily familiar, guarded by 5 figures in dark leather armor, with another figure guiding the horses. Tajin turns to you. What is the plan, my lords? Kaya will actually say, you should jump!
Well, actually, I was thinking the same things. Can you fly low enough and slows or fast enough to let us jumps off? And, it's the jumps on them.
She shakes her head. No, just jump. I'm not joking.
Is she gonna make us float? Float me.
If you say that aloud, she gives you a wink. I guess we'll see.
That one's most likes use.
Not needing any further encouragement and trying to hurry up and save Helena, I'm gonna jump.
Goldbrind
Davos with a mild like sprinting the few feet between him and the railing leaps off. And while he had this sort of confidence about him in the charge and in the leap, as soon as he gets over, you just hear it break to a and a bit of that panic of actually hurtling 100 feet down begins to set in.
Goldbrind grabs Tally and throws him and Tally like.
And I imagine Bergen follows suit as well.
Yeah.
All right. As you leap from the edge of the Wyvern, you feel a familiar sensation of spell work, enchantment that begins to envelop you. And the wind begins to push against you, and your plummet shifts into more of a controlled glide. You make your way onto the far side of the covered wagon. You have a moment of opportunity before your feet plant firmly on the soft dirt.
So we're ahead of them now, so to speak, on the road?
You're above them.
Oh, okay. Still following.
Yeah. Can you guys all see this? I don't have the shroud or anything, do I? Cool.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to be coming down. You can choose to land wherever you would like.
I'm just dragging tokens. This isn't where... Where's Tally?
I'll grab him for you.
I got him.
No, I got him. Okay.
Can I not make me bigger? Is that another thing?
You
have to make me bigger.
Yeah.
Anyway, can I move Tally? Good. So Tally wants to land right about Hero. I'm assuming that's a higher elevation slightly than the surrounding area.
Yeah, technically that rock's not there, but for flavor, yeah, let's go.
Oh.
This is actually me recycling a map from an earlier encounter.
I mean, he wants to land Tally would want to land in a place that's higher up. He can land in a tree or something if you would rather. But...
That's fair. Before we do this, why don't we go ahead and roll initiative? Because you guys, at this point, you're still in the air gliding down. You're falling at a slow enough rate to where you see where you can go, but you had the realization that you could make an attack before you actually get to them. So let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
Goldbrind rolled a 9. That's a -1. He wants to try to land on the big dude. Goldbrind wanted to land on somebody.
He is the one driving the cart at the moment. I don't know if that
even
changes.
Better. No, it's even better.
So you said 9 -1 to an 8. Is that right?
Yeah. 10 -1 to a 9.
Gotcha. Thank you. Roll for Tally for me.
Yes, sir. Nope, sorry, didn't go through. Oh, also
I
a 10.
have an 11.
An 11. Solid. Oh, it actually popped up in D&D Beyond for me. Good. And a 10 for Tally. Congratulations, 7. The lowest roll tally has ever had for initiative.
I know, right?
All right. As we go through this, you boys each get a moment of opportunity to make a sneak attack, or an opportunity attack.
Sneaky attack.
No, what's the word I'm looking for? A surprise round.
Surprise.
What do you wish to do? Has to be ranged.
But
Well,
how many feet do
if
we
you're
have to work
landing
with? Never mind.
directly
Doesn't
by a
matter.
figure, you can probably make a physical attack. But no, that might escalate things.
Well, he like Goldbrind actually has a spell, so he might use his spell for this, but it's not his turn yet. I don't think.
We're not worrying about turns right now. Just tell me what you want to do, and these are all going to happen simultaneously before you land.
Goldbrind gonna use the entangle spell. It has 90 feet, so he can technically be like 90 feet above them before he casts it.
Okay. What's the radius on that?
It's a 20-foot square. Let me show it to you.
20-foot radius? Square, excuse me.
So he's gonna drop it, I guess, in this vicinity. If he can get all 4 of those people in the front or the front of the cart, mostly he wants to drop it in the front of the cart, like kind of where the horses are, where those people are, to get as many bodies as he can and to slow the cart down. I'll click cast so you can see that DC 14 strength save.
Let me move this in a little closer. Bergen, what would you like to do, my dude?
Can I cast spiritual weapon?
You can.
I'll do that right here.
Boop. And which one are you wanting to hit with the first strike?
Whatever this big thing is.
The big dude?
Uh,
It's funny. He's technically a dwarf, but on a normal, when I make him the normal square size, he's freaking like, because the thing
Skinny.
over his head, he's super tiny. So
do you have
I
a
did a
scythe?
little,
Mm.
maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a scythe.
Driving the cart's all Devin needed to hear.
Bloop.
No more driving for you.
And Davos, what do you want to do with your surprise round?
I'm going to cast sleep at
Ooh.
At which one?
98,
Which one?
3rd level.
No, which target? I'm sorry.
Oh,
It's a range, a radius, isn't
doesn't
it?
it go to all of
It's
them?
a-
Yeah.
It's a hit point pool.
Well, you have to choose your priorities. So, like, because you can only, like, if you get 100 points, if 5 creatures have 20 hit points, then you can get all 5. But, you know, if you roll,
Yeah,
They
I'm gonna
have-
go with not the dwarf. So I guess moving from the back, purple, red, then orange, then green.
okay, roll your 98.
98. Come on, that sucked. 36.
36.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, my dude, nothing on the map has under 36 hit points. You know what? Keep your spell slot. As Davos tries to like jam this out in the wind as he's descending, it's like the wind, the force of the actual wind is making it hard to play, and you can't quite finish the incantation. We'll save that level 3 slot. But you watch as beneath the horse's feet, brambles and vines begin to twist up and wrap around them. What do these dudes get for? Okay, said it's a strength save, Devin. 14.
Yes, sir.
This one up here, the blue one fails. And I need one more. He also passes. Okay, so the blue one fails. The horses will fail by default. Terrified. The dwarf is actually up on the cart. So he is not on the ground to be entangled, per se.
That's why Goldbrand's going to get him.
Yeah. And the other 2 are too far back to get that. Okay. And then Bergen casts Spiritual Weapon. Did it pop up? I don't see it.
I did a ping. I didn't actually make a thing.
Oh no, I'm roll for it to see if you hit them.
Ow,
I
ow,
think
my
you
bad.
said you were aiming for the big dude. Yeah.
Yes.
It's actually he's really a smaller dude, but that just looks comically small to me compared to y'all's big tokens. So, bloop. That's the
That's
only two
poop.
sizes I can do.
Poop
Oh,
roll.
a 9. A 9 does not hit. You find yourselves having a little difficulty navigating aerial combat from a way you've never truly tried to before. Again, your weapon is still up, but it doesn't land that first swing. It does alert them enough to where they begin to stand. Tally technically gets an opportunity attack too, or a surprise attack. So Devin, why don't you go ahead and
Ooh.
throw off a couple of things for him?
Last I heard. Is he going to do anything neat? Like a whisper? No, I don't think so. Oh, he has a favored foe and stuff. I'm not gonna mess with all that stuff. Tally going to, he's actually going to, as he's following Kai Kareem. He gets to throw 2 of them, right? Because it's a whole round. 3 of them, because it's his first attack. Is that correct?
Well,
Dread ambush
you can
them?
only use an action for this, so he would get 2 because he gets the dread
And
ambush
action.
thing.
I thought the surprise rounds are whole rounds.
This is a little different. You're using a
Alright.
bonus action to control your glide to where you want to land. It's not just movement. It's using your body to sort of have to guide yourself. So
He will
you get
throw
the
his,
action, not the bonus
He will
action.
throw his Kai Kareem at this one.
It does not hit.
Wow.
He gets 2 of those, so fire one more.
We really suck at flying, y'all. His
Yeah.
second one.
This was supposed to be really cool, and you guys are ruining it. Stop it. All right, so some vines pop up, and everything else misses. Is basically what happens. You guys come to a crash down on the earth. Are you guys where you want to be? Oh, I see 2 Brandons. I didn't realize you could move your token out, so I moved one out for you. I'm sorry. Is that where you want to be, by the guy in the back?
Yeah, I didn't realize I could do it either, and I didn't realize you had already done it.
No, you're fine.
But
That's
yeah,
really cool.
I would want to be in the back. Caboose is where it's at.
Make sure, yeah.
I'll go
Beautiful.
closer here.
Okay. Do we have a tally? Oh, he's up on the rock. That's right. I'm gonna move him just a little closer.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say,
screen.
you know.
As the vines curl up and wrap around the horses, the wheels of the wagon, the few soldiers who are sort of guarding this caravan, the driver stands, his form broad and squat. He drops his hood to reveal a worn-looking gray dwarf, skin sickly pale and beard an ashy gray with bits of black. As he lowers his arm, you catch a familiar iron circle embedded onto the pauldron of his dark leather armor.
I said this shit
Excuse
again,
me.
didn't even know.
His splint mail. A black blade scythe lies ready within his grip and stands nearly 2 feet taller than himself. A sturdy crossbow and a gleaming hand axe shines on his belt. He grins a bit, revealing blackened, filthy teeth, and calls out to you. Hail, Lords of Nightstone. I was wondering when you might show up. You have proven quite the thorns on our sides. And Davos, he looks about you guys, and he points to Davos. Jagged, black, cracked fingernails. You. The one called Davos, yes?
I am.
You match the description from our intel perfectly. But I am being rude, please. Call me Jasper. You should feel honored, Dawnbringer. You've proven a large enough pain to garner our attention. We've learned so much about all of you, your lordship, your precious little keep, nestled in the woods. Our laborers, liberated, your families and friends that you left back home. But I guess there is no home for you, is there, Davos? In truth, it was almost too perfect that your people were driven out. It granted us the perfect opportunity to prey upon their vulnerabilities. We were disappointed that we were unable to find your mother or sister. But we know where they are now. And I find nothing quite so motivates the will of a man as his lover in peril.
If you want me and you want us, then let her go. We're here now.
Give up all my leverage so that you can what? Try to liberate her before one of us slits her throat?
It's either that or slit yours.
It's that or your teeth.
I think that you'll find that more difficult than you imagine. But truly, your tale is one of such tragedy. Sworn to be a protector of your home, and away when they needed you most, gallivanting off, pretending to be royalty. And again, I suppose that is better than what befell your father. After all, you were there to help him, but failed miserably as I hear it.
Can I like barbarian rage or what?
Yeah, if you want to just start swinging, you can start swinging, my man. You want to go? Let's go ahead and get this puppy rolling. In fact, I'm going to give you a little boost to initiative because you're making the first move here. And we'll get this party started. Davos, this man has just insulted you, your family, mocked you, threatened the people you love, told you he's ready to slit the throat of your lover. What do? And Devin, will you pop on some tunes while we do that?
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna go after one of the small guys, but I feel like, he was talking all that smack. I gotta go straight for him. And we're gonna be doing some guiding bolt.
Okay.
I think. I don't know.
To the guy on to the dwarf? Jasper?
Yeah, to the dwarf. Jasper,
Okay.
more like dead man walking. Third level spell slot, guiding bolt. Come on.
While he's rolling that up,
Oh, wait,
Devin, I
again.
realize now that Goldbrind isn't actually... I'm going to back you up just a second. It's kind of hard to tell, but he's actually in this seat right here. It won't let me position it directly over him. There's nowhere to stand on the cart itself, aside from where he is.
I mean, Goldbrind was trying to land on him. Like, he literally wanted to come down and land on top of him.
Just to stand there, though? Like, I feel like you're trying to make a grapple check, like a tackle or something. But
Sort of.
you used your action to do the entangle. So,
Yeah, he can't end his turn. Well, I was under the impression he dropped his thing from way up above.
it was sort of as you were approaching.
Yeah. He just wants to land close enough that he can grab a hold of him. He may not necessarily grapple,
Okay.
but that is the
We'll
intent.
We'll get you right here by his immediate left. Or his immediate right, excuse me.
Is it possible I can switch places with Davos? Because thematically, I think that just works out a little better.
I mean, Davos does have a good point of being towards the rear, especially given you've just heard that this man wants to try to get there to slit her throat.
Ah! No, that's fine.
So.
Sorry, I'm trying to get this to do.
What'd you get for your guiding bolt, Davey?
It hit for 27 damage.
What did it roll to hit?
21.
Solid, okay. For 27 damage. Solid opening move. Okay. Excellent. Do you have anything for your bonus action or your movement? Okay. You watch as this guiding bolt blasts into his shoulder, burns off a bit of the cape, and reveals this dark, almost gothic-esque armor that's very intricately carved. And he turns to look at you. Spits blood. And he looks down at Davos, just beside him. I'm sorry, my friends, but you are too close for comfort. He's going to take 2 swings with that scythe at you, my dude. First one is a 22 to hit. Second one misses. For the first one, you take 8 points of slashing damage. And as this black blade scythe cuts across your arm, the dark blood on the scythe glows, sinks into it, and the scythe blade begins to glow red, and then the shaft, and then to his hands. And he takes a deep breath in. Devin, take take an additional 9 points of necrotic damage as
That
he
was to me?
gains 9 to Devin.
To Goldbrind.
As he gains 9 more hit points.
I would like to just
You will
point out that
find
he was hit with guiding bolt, so it says the next attack roll made
He would have
against this
advantage.
target would have advantage. But is
Devin
it
did
just
hit
my
his
attack or
first
everybody?
roll. Or no, I'm sorry. No one has swung on him yet
Mhm.
since you. Okay, so I will mark him for the guiding bolt. Bloop, 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 bloop. All right. You will find me tougher to kill than all of that, Uthgard. And at that point, the two guys in the back, who now that you're closer and see these 5 soldiers, these 2 in particular look a little more better armored, a little tougher, a little more wizened. This one in the back here to your right in front of Davos is going to make a swing on you. He's actually going to make 2 swings on you. The highest is a 20, dirty 20. And you take 8 points of slashing damage. While the other one is going to come up 5, 10, 15, entering into the edges of this. And is going to swing on Goldbrand with 2 swings. Ooh, a 12, which I don't think hits, and a 23.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you are going to take 6 points of slashing damage. As we go to Bergine. What you got, man?
Okay. I'm going to.
Fuck him up, BDSM Bergen.
I think I'm gonna throw my Guardian of Faith right.
So-
here. Well, no, I guess my base is there, isn't it?
Well, your
right.
mace can move. It
Yeah.
costs your bonus action, but it makes a swing when it does it. So
Okay, yeah. So actually, first I will move it here.
the mace.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
who are you
have
swinging
it-
at?
This dude, what was his name again? Did he get
Jasper.
Jasper.
I was gonna say earlier on Goldbrand's turn, he was gonna be like, "Well, he told you what to put on his tombstones."
Let me see here. What is it?
And your guardian is large, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It is.
Probably about there.
I do feel somewhat obligated to point out that we misunderstood that spell last session. It-
Spiritual weapon?
No, the Guardian.
Guardian
it does not proc every turn. It procs when you move
When they
into
enter
its
the
range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this will be the. And go ahead and drop that in chat. Not the weapon, but the spiritual guardian.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Because
don't
I think it.
Even if
Would-
they start in it, I don't think it pops. It's literally just a like you move into it and it smacks you.
Let me read it. It moves to a space within 10 feet.
Okay, so
First time on a turn must succeed. The first time on a turn.
so that tells me even if it's already in it, if it moves to another square in it, then it would get popped. Is what it sounds like to me.
Okay, but only when it
think-
moves.
I think so.
Only when they move in. So if it moves away, I don't think it gets an opportunity attack, for example. I think he's right because we did the same thing when I had a cleric in Dungeon of the Mad Mage. So I will, if you would like, I will let you use something else with the action instead of casting that. If you still want to do that and want to put it somewhere else or want
Yeah.
to leave it there, you're welcome to. But
It's not
give you some
like
retcon.
preach. It's not like it's like corporeal, right? Can't lie.
Yeah.
It's not like it goes. Okay. Shit. Well, fuck.
You can always place it near
sorry.
you if you wanted, because it's not concentration. You could plop it down near you as like a guardian around you.
Let me stick it like closer here.
Well, you can do that, or you can put it near the back of the cart, and if anything tries to go to the back of the cart,
Here.
it would pop them.
Hmm.
You're calm, man.
Yeah, I'll throw it right here.
It is technically a large creature, so I think I have to put it here, if that'll work.
Works.
You watch as this giant image of Helm broad, sturdy mace wielded with a tight grip, a shield on the other arm, the down, almost full-plated helmet that covers its face, as the imposing figure stands above. You do get to swing with the spiritual weapon, but unfortunately a 15 does not meet his armor class. So you're sort of distracted as you're trying to multitask, and it just goes a little broad. And that leads us to the 3 ugly-looking fuckers around you guys. The first one is going to rush up on Bergen, make a swing there. He gets 2, I think. Yep. A 25. Oh, that's a natural 20 for a 25. So, I'm sorry, my dude, but you need to take... Where's my other D8?
It's gone. You can't roll it.
You take 11 slashing damage. The next one is going to make a strike on Goldbrind. Again, 2 strikes. A 16, does that hit?
Yeah.
And a 24, so both of those hit. Excuse me, a 23. So take 12 points of slashing damage. As the third one, he's far enough away to where he sees Tally up on the ridge. He's probably going to try to go for Tally. He's going to throw... oh, no, he actually doesn't have a ranged attack. I'm sorry. In that case, he's going to exit out of the brambles, take 2 more steps, and he's going to go for a slash at Davos.
It wasn't restrained? Some of them failed. Are they not restrained?
The one that restrained was up here. So I'm sorry. Bergen, take your hit points back. He is going to use his action to try to hack out of it. He has to make another save. He does not pass. No one else was restrained by it.
Hurt.
But it's still difficult terrain, correct?
Hurt. Yes.
Cool. Okay. So he gets down to Davos, makes 2 swings. One of them is a dirty 21.
Ooh. Ooh.
So Davos takes 6 points of damage.
Ooh.
And with that, we come to Tally.
Hold on 2 seconds. Okay. Wouldn't have lost it. What's the second time I took damage? It wasn't 12 damage, was it?
I've already moved my dice.
I'm almost positive it wasn't. The last one you
Oh, it was
dealt
the
me
nat 20, wasn't it?
No, well,
The
there's
20
been,
was 11 damage.
There's been 3 hits. The middle one, the last one was 12 damage. The middle one I don't think was that high. The last time you hit me was the crit, which was 12 damage. And there's the 7. Okay. I had to make sure the brambles were still there. I always forget about fucking concentration.
And I'll throw one of those on Bergen too, so we'll help remember that he's concentrating on the spiritual weapon, but not the guardian. Alright. Alright, Taliban, what you got?
Tally gonna do what Tally does. This is the part where he gets 3 attacks, because he gets a Dread Ambusher or something, right? He has
You used 2 attacks when we came into the combat, so that's technically your Dread Ambusher for this. Because that was the first round of combat.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okie doke, he gets 2.
He can still make 2 because he can do 1 as an action, 1 as a bonus action.
Yeah, let me find this thing. He gets to do something that adds more damage. It's probably Hunter's Mark. So he will... Is that his bonus action for the first turn, probably?
For Hunter's Mark, yes, sir.
Okay. He may skip the Hunter's Mark right this second and just go ahead and throw 2 Kai Kareems. So I've got to do... This one. Same one he tried to get earlier.
The red? Okay.
Yeah. There's the first one. Oh, it doesn't... Whatever. Here's the second one.
Does not hit.
Wow.
I don't think that's right. It should say Kai Karim bonus action.
Oh.
Because that's the strength one. That's if he's using it as a melee weapon.
Oh, I probably have to go to the bonus action tab. Here is his bonus action throw.
You boys are rolling like dicks. That does not hit the red dude, unfortunately. Alright. Slow opening hand. Gulbrand, what you got? Turn this around.
Well, Goldbrind was going to think about trying to find a way to finesse their way out of this, but he kind of likes that Davos is super pissed, so he was going to try to charm the dude, but I'm 98% positive that's not going to work. Even if he passes the charm, all the guys are going to be like, no, we're not going to let him go, fuck you.
You've also just been sliced across the arm by a large scythe, and
yeah, he's not...
a feeling of your life essence being drained.
Goldbrand's for sure not happy, so he'll rage!
Get it?
You know, as barbarians do. Take a big snort of bloodweed and do his thing. Let me mark that off. And he'll take 2 attacks. I'll go ahead and roll those. He's So Davos is actually over there. He's not actually He's not actually squaring up with the dwarf.
He fired on the dwarf, but you're right. He's not immediately
squared
by
up
him.
with him.
Come on, Goldbrind, what you got? You're surrounded on 3 points.
I see that. I would
Go
say
ahead.
I'm scared, but I don't know if I believe that. Okay.
Oh, now you mad.
Yeah, too mad to be scared. Guess he's gonna deal with this guy first.
Okay.
He will try to whittle some things down. So
Get him.
here's the first attack. No.
Hmm.
Here's the second attack. No.
Cough,
Yeah.
cough. Cool. Reckless attack. Cool.
Yeah, I could. I thought about that, but I'm not going to.
Okay.
They're all about to get to hit me.
You make
so
both
I'm not gonna do
swings
that.
and no contact. The least impactful opening move I think I've ever seen you lords make. So we're going to see how this goes for round 2. Davos, you watch as the party is having trouble roughing up these thugs. And now that you're closer, surrounded by them, you realize that these are not like the common bandits and thugs that you fought when you initially encountered the Iron Circle. These guys are tougher. Mercenaries, perhaps. And seem to be a lot more of a challenge for you. What do you do?
The brambles go away because Goldbrind raged.
Thank you, sir.
For clarification, he didn't take any extra notice from that radiant damage, huh?
He did not, no. Good thinking. And yeah, okay. I won't say anything.
Alright. I will attack the orange one in front of me.
Okay, get him.
Let's see, where's it at? Let's see, come on. If this works, this is going to be epic. Does a 18 hit?
The orange one? An 18?
Yes.
Yeah, that passes.
Alright, so when I do that, let me roll this damage. That is for, 6 damage.
Okay, a little
I'm
rough.
going to Divine Smite.
Got it. Pop him.
Nuke that bitch.
Let's see, 1d8 for a spell level. We'll do it at a second level, so 2d8 damage. That's going to be an additional 7 damage.
Cool.
And then I will also use one of my blade flourishes. I will expend a bardic inspiration dice, and I'm going to do a slashing flourish, which means I will do 1 bardic inspiration dice to the target I hit and to any other creature within 5 feet of me. So
To any
it will
other creature.
be
Solid. So it'll be the purple one as well.
1d6, which will be 1 extra damage. Wow.
Out of curiosity, that just hits automatically? You don't have to make an attack against them?
It says, let's see, the blade flourish. Whenever you take the attack action on your turn, but then the slashing is to deal extra damage equal to the number. Yeah, I guess you have to hit. I
We
know
will...
for the divines.
It sounds like you activate this and then you attack, is what you're...
Okay.
Because it says when you hit with the attack action.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say that you use this before you hit with your rapier. So it pings him for the extra damage. Does it ping the other guy for the 1 damage, or is it...
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
The slashing one does, yes.
Roll another d6 for me, just for shits and gigs.
All right. And I do
You're
have
pretty pissed
something
off.
else. Wow, okay. Another 1.
You know what? I'll roll a d6. 5? We'll take that. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. And then I have something else that says, after you deal damage to a creature with your Divine Smite, I can use my Channel Divinity as a bonus action and distribute temporary hit points 2d8 plus 3 to anyone within 30 feet of me.
Is your slashing flourish a bonus action?
It just says you can expend 1 use.
Okay, that's good. It's like a smite then, so you're good there. So go ahead and use your bonus action for your other thing.
2d8. It's going to be 11 plus 3 is 14 points of healing. And I'll give 7 to me, 7 to Goldbrand.
Okay.
Blue?
Goldbrind adds 7
And
hit
that
points.
Goldbrand.
You watch
And then
as
I yell out to old dwarf boy, I can do that too. As I heal Goldbrand.
I love it. You watch as Davos just starts to see white. He swings his rapier around. He's stabbing. His sword is wreathed in this radiant energy. And as he's striking the foes, globules of light sort of fly off, and one flies and goes into his chest, and one flies over and goes to Goldbrand. And you watch as that scythe slash across your arm just seals right back up. The Jasper goes, Seems you've learned quite a bit in your short time away from home, haven't we? Well, I'll see what information I can pry from your corpse. And he's going to take 2 swings at Goldbrand. 14 plus
14 hits.
6, so a dirty 20. Take 8 points of slashing damage. And he's actually going to grab his hand axe, and as his bonus action, take a slash hit with that as well. 17 to hit. Or
Hits.
5 points of slashing damage.
Friendly reminder, I'm raging, so I'm halving all of this.
Thank you, sir. It's the veteran's turn. Purple's going to square up on Davos. Neither of his attacks hit. Solid. The other one's going to square up on Goldbrand. 2 and a 7 plus 5. 12 doesn't hit. Yeah?
Nope.
Cool. All right.
These guys didn't take anything from radiant damage from my divine smite.
Which one? The purple one?
Or the orange one was the only one that took smite.
Yeah, he took the smite damage. The purple one did take something from your radiant, from your slashing flourish. He took 5 from that.
Like nothing extra special with the radiant. These guys aren't
No,
undead.
These two look just like normal dudes. The dwarf
Okay.
looks sickly and gray. Do me a favor, just roll a history check for me.
Okay. I got a 2. Okay.
Ooh, well, that's dumb.
They are hating us today.
He
It's
looks pretty dead. He looks
Brandon
pretty
didn't
dead.
say
You don't know why it's not
Dungeons and
working.
Dragons.
It looks pretty dead. You don't know why it's not doing anything extra. Bergen, what you got, man?
Okay. I'm gonna move the spiritual weapon here and take a swing at that dude as a bonus action.
I'm sorry, ping that one more time for me.
Right here.
Okay, pop him.
Hopefully, let's see.
Oh, a nat 1. Roll. Well, hang on, I got you. Odd is hits, doesn't it? Hits the ally. Let me see something. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna ignore it for that. This is a tough fight as is. I'm not gonna. You still have an action.
All right. Let's see. I guess I'm just gonna take a shot at him with my shooting mace. God damn it! I hope I don't hit you, Goldbrind. What's that?
I'm trying to remember. The red one had moved forward. I'm trying to remember if that was before or after you put your spiritual guardian down, because the guardian is 10-foot range, not a 5-foot range like I originally thought. We'll say it pops him. Guardian of Faith, takes 20 radiant damage on a failed save. What's your spell save DC, Berg?
Which one?
Your spell save DC should be on the top of your character sheet.
Yeah, if you go to spells, it should be above the search bar. Modifier, spell attack, spell save
15.
DC.
15? Okay, he fails, so he does take the full 20 damage. You watch as this guy comes to round up on Goldbrand, and the figure of Helm reaches over this person in front of him and just bashes him with the mace. Radiant energy sears him and blasts him back a little bit, but he's still looking pretty ready for battle. What did you want to do with that?
Take a shot at him with my
Get
shooting
him.
mace.
Shooty mace. Fire away, fire away. He was restrained. He is no longer.
Poo. Poo all day long.
Some of the worst series of rolls I've seen in a very long time.
Oh my god. No, you're right. Yeah. It's unsettling. All right. With that, do you want to move? I'm sorry.
Nah.
Okay. As we go into this, the other 3 bandits are each going to take a swing at each of you. This one comes forward. Green to Goldbrand. 23.
Mm-hmm.
6 points of slashing damage. Davos, both miss. Bergen, 2 20s, both dirty. But you do take 12 points of slashing damage as this guy just lays into you, pissed off that he was bound up for the first round. And with that, we go to Tally.
Oh boy. I think Tally's gonna throw Kayak Ram. I don't think he really has anything else that's gonna be super helpful. He's actually gonna Kayak Ram this one so that if he does hit, he gets a sneak attack proc. Oh, this one's engaged with Goldbrind too, isn't he? The red one?
Yeah, they're both within a square of you. You can go either one.
He'll do the red one then.
Get
Since
him.
it's... Come on, wake up. Action,
Come on,
please.
Tally. Lead us out of these poor rolls.
There's the first one.
To the red one, that misses.
Sad face. Here's the second one.
That one hits. 9 psychic damage. And
It
pop
did.
your sneak attack,
It did, but it didn't do it for me.
because it doesn't know when you're, when it's engaged like that.
I found it. I had
like
to
your
find it
rage.
to roll it. Oh, there you go.
9?
Some good sneak attack.
I didn't even know it could go that high. Solid. Oh yeah, it's 2d6. That's right. Solid. You watch as that one is, it gets hit with a mace. It gets blasted with a knife, and he looks pretty bloodied. He's pretty roughed up. Goldbrand, what you got? Unless Tally has something else. I'm sorry.
I don't think Tally can do anything else. Not that I'm
Gonna
aware
stay
of
up there?
anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Keep
All
the
right,
high
Goldbrand.
ground. Goldbrand is... It's gonna keep swinging. Man, he doesn't want to ignore those guys. Tally might can handle them, but he'll light up like a lighthouse. He'll do his Archer Constellation. Yeah, he'll do his Archer Constellation. He's actually gonna turn and after Jasper gets a hit or two on him, Goldbrand's gonna turn around and be like, "You fucking bitch!" And he's gonna take 2 swings at him.
Jasper. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, fuck you, Jasper. At least one of those will hit, I hope.
Both of those hit.
Good.
He has a 17 armor class.
That's 18 damage for the first swing because I'm raging, and 13 damage for the second one. He poked a bear. And then for
you lay into him with your axe of the first star, and the first one he tries to raise up his scythe to block you, but the staff of the scythe is no match, and you just bat it away like it's nothing and tear into him. You do a pretty healthy chunk of damage, and you see a flicker of fear in his eyes. He wasn't expecting,
I'd be scared
after the
too.
performance you guys have had so far, he wasn't expecting to be,
the
split up
literal
on.
Goliath was just like, "The fucks did you say?" But my bonus action, I'll throw a javelin. This is blue here is the only one I can throw at without disadvantage, so I will.
Correct.
Ooh.
And that's the nat 20, of course. Okay.
Yeah, right.
7 damage.
8 damage.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Bloop. I'm dumb, apparently. I don't know if y'all knew that.
I had a suspicion.
Alright, anything else for Goal?
Nah, that's all he can do. Besides glower at Jasper.
It's weird that some of them pop up as Goldbrand and some of them pop up as Dimitri the Mad. That's funky. Davos, what you got, man?
I'm gonna do some Light of Lathander. I forget what buff that offers me because I can't pull it up on the app for some reason.
So when you blind them, it gives you, because they're blinded, you have advantage on hits. But it also gives you the opportunity to do more damage if they're blinded when you hit them.
Yeah, I'm gonna do some Light of Lathander on the orange.
You could probably get the orange and the purple. It's
Okay, great.
It's a 15-foot cone. That's fudging it a little bit, but we'll say you take a slight step back toward the wagon and you get them both in the line of sight. All right, so they both have to make a save. I think, and I'm not 100% sure, I think that's a con save. I'll pull it up so I can be sure. Con save, yeah. Ooh, that one's shitty. That one's really good. So the orange one passes. The pink one fails. So you watch as the soldier just to your right squints his eyes and begins sort of just swinging his sword around wildly and is blinded. What you got, man?
To be hitting hopefully with a 17 on orange with my rapier.
He,
And the damage is 10.
give me 1 second, because he actually takes 5 points of damage from the radiance, and then the other guy takes half as much, so he takes 3. And I'm sorry, what was that roll?
10 damage.
I'm sorry, I'm having a little trouble hearing you. I'm going to
It
put you
was
up a little.
17 to hit and 10 damage.
17 to hit, that meets, and 10 damage.
10
Sweet.
Is he still standing?
He is still standing. This
I
one,
will divine
Get him.
smite again.
get it.
Pump that rapier.
2. What is it? 2d8 plus what? 3? Was it?
I think that's right. That's your charisma modifier, so that should be it.
Indeed.
There's the
So 11? Solid.
yeah. Plus 3.
He's
So
bloodied.
14.
I'm sorry, one more time. 14?
Wait, that was a 6 plus 2, 8 damage plus 3, total of 11. Okay.
11.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah. All right. Solid. You lay into this motherfucker. And he's blinded for until the end of your next turn. All right.
That's the
That
one's
brings us.
blinded, not the orange though, right?
Yeah. Were you hitting the purple one or?
The orange one? That's the one I hit before, right?
Yes.
I was trying to hit him again.
But you don't get advantage or anything if you hit him. You don't get the extra damage. Is that okay?
Okay, so alright, you already did it to the purple, we'll do him.
Okay. Thank you.
And then another slashing damage with that bardic
Slashing flourish.
inspiration. Yeah. D6 roll for both of them, an additional 3 damage.
Sweet. Solid. The purple one's looking pretty fucked up. The orange one is looking a little anxious, but not yet bloodied. That brings us to Jasper, who looks at you. You fucking savage! He lays into you twice with his sight. One of those misses for sure. 17 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Take... Oh, I never found my other D8, did I? Fuck. Okay, I'll show you twice. Oh, there you go. Take 9 points of slashing damage, and he's gonna pop his second. He swings at you twice, and you manage to pop him aside with the butt of your axe, but the second one catches you in the ribs, and immediately, like, he leaves it there. He doesn't pull through, and the blood just begins to seep up it. As he... Is that 3d6? Oh, that's good. Take 10 more necrotic damage. After 5.
Yes. Does that mean he only gets 5 back? Fuck him.
Technically, no. I don't think that's the way this particular enchantment works, but boop. That brings us to the veterans.
Hope.
Um,
Hold up.
yeah.
For a reaction, I'd like to make
Okay.
a black hole right here and pull him within 10 feet of the Guardian.
The blue one is already 10 feet of the guard.
No. It's the person that attacked me.
Oh, I see. All right. You
It's
you
a
open
strength
up
save.
the
It's
rift.
DC 14 strength save. Let me push this.
You
for
open up the
See.
rift, and this black hole appears before this god of justice, made out of corporeal light. It's very oddly clashing, but feels like it just feels right. He's gonna make a save. He fails, pretty bad. He
Takes-
is pulled from the cart and topples to the ground and is furious. What's he take?
Takes 8 force damage. That should also move him within 10 feet of that Guardian.
It does. As the guardian, he gets a save on the guardian as well. I think it's a dex save. Let me double check.
Dwarves are not dexterous.
Probably a fair assumption. Oh, nat 20, no lie.
Darn.
Oh shit.
Yeah, can't see my dice there, can you? Bloop. 20. So he saves on that. And I'll say with that, he doesn't even land prone. Like, he lands, like, he rolls out of the way and onto his feet.
He still takes the 10 damage, though, right? Takes
does
half
take
on
the
a fail.
He's beginning to look a little anxious. The two veterans. The red one, while you're distracted with Jasper, goes to move a swing on you. And he's actually, you watch as before his, well, you don't see it, but perhaps Bergen does. Before his swing, he takes a deep breath. And he makes his first strike with advantage. And he hits. Second strike. 11 plus 5, so 16 hits.
Yep.
Takes 16 slashing damage, halved to 8.
Yuck.
And then the other one is gonna, he's blind. He's gonna use the same thing, which is gonna let him swing normally for this first one. Take his, what did I call that? Refined technique. Bloop, 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 bloop. He's gonna swing the first one at disadvantage against Davos. Oh, 16 at disadvantage plus 5. He still hits. That's a 21. And then this one's a normal one. And plus... Okay, that one would not hit. Davos, you do take 8 points of slashing damage as we go to Bergen.
Alright. Bonus action, spiritual weapon on orange dude.
Get him.
Schwab. Oh my god. Alright. And then action. I'm gonna swing at blue, I guess, because he's right in my face.
Get him.
See.
Look him up. That hits.
Oh,
Roll
nice.
some damage. Bust a cap in his ass.
Oh.
A little underwhelming, but that's all right. Chipping him down. That brings us to Bandit Captain B. Or excuse me, the Bandits. They're technically not bandits, that's just the stat block they use. Once again, they're going to make a swing on each of you. Or 2 swings on each of you. Bergen, 1 hits with the 23. Take 6 slashing, and I forgot to do this earlier. Make a constitution, or concentration checks or con saves, yeah?
Yeah.
Make
But
a con save.
If he only did 6
Con
damage,
save.
he has to beat a 10.
Yeah,
But if it had been like 11 damage, he'd have to beat an 11.
you beat an 11. Oh,
Sad face.
you watch as your mace dissolves into nothingness. The Guardian is still
God.
there, because it's not a concentration thing, but he did break your concentration on that.
My concentration.
Yeah, so when you cast certain spells, you have to concentrate on them to keep them up. Spiritual Weapon's one of those. And concentration, whenever somebody hits you, you're supposed to make a con save against the damage they dealt to you. Or a 10 if it's lower than
Spiritual weapon does not cost concentration.
It does not.
that. Spiritual Weapon nor Spiritual Guardian?
No.
I thought Spiritual Weapon was.
Spiritual
Nope.
weapon.
Duration 1 minute.
Yeah. And
Plus
the
10.
Guardian's like 8 hours.
The Guardian's hella long.
It's so
Look at one
ridiculous.
thing.
I could set that bitch up at the front gate if we need to. Like, could I do that
That's-
like as
oh,
on
yeah, that's a
guard
good
as we
idea.
go to sleep or
Yeah.
some shit?
So I think the rule technically is you can't concentrate on 2 spells at one time, but he's not concentrating on either one of those.
It's not concentration. Well, damn.
Yeah.
Well, damn. All right, never mind. Your mace is still there. I will redraw that in a second.
But how much damage did you say I took earlier?
You took 6 damage.
6. Okay.
How you looking, Bergen?
Not too bad. How's everybody else looking?
These next
Goldbrand's
2
bloodied.
Bloody.
These next 2 are to Goldbrand.
He's not going to
Um,
be looking good after this, probably.
One's a nat 1.
Oh.
And that's an odd number. His the red guy beside him takes 6 points of damage, and he's looking pretty rough. He's in bad shape. And then 2 against Davos. An 11 plus 5, 16, which I don't think meets Davos' armor class. They all made it out pretty good with that one. That brings us to Tally.
Tally gonna try to finish that motherfucker off. Sorry, I was drinking my cactus water. Cactus juice!
Cactus juice.
It's the quenchiest!
quenchiest.
This combat is brought to you by cactus juice! Do I need to roll
Secret
a D20
tunnel.
for
I'm
that?
sorry.
Do I need to roll a D20 for that nat 1?
Yeah, go ahead. we're having. We ignored that first one. Okay, good. Yeah. All right.
Bonus action. Bonus action. Bonus action. Bonus action.
Oh, that's what it's called. 15 against the green one or the red one?
A red one.
That does not meet. Sorry,
okay.
dude. So we go to Goldbrand. You hear Tally just cussing from up on top. Fucking son of a goddamn.
As long as he doesn't hit Smeeze against. So, let me think about this. Question. Because his character is a little finicky looking. Is Jasper now 10 feet away from me? Would I have to leave the range of green to go and smack Jasper?
Because his character is finicky, you put your black hole over here.
Yeah,
I imagine he's actually in this square beside you and the Guardian.
Okay.
Like,
then Goldbrind will
quite
just
there,
turn
but
on him
yeah.
and keep going.
Get him. One of those hits. Roll damage.
14 total.
Woo, that's pretty critical.
And then
he's
Goldbrind will
gonna
talk
use his
smack. Damn, I
reaction.
can't
Hang
think
on
of
one
what it was
second.
to say. Hurt?
1 second, motherfucker. He's gonna use
Okay,
his
it's
reaction. Make a dex save for me.
Ah! Can I see it?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Oh,
4 and a 2.
don't
All right.
You watch as when you go, you pop him, and as you go to make your second swing, it passes through him. He becomes this corporeal dark mist,
Fucks.
and he fades back. And he pops up on the rear end of the caravan over here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, the rear end of the caravan.
Is he immune to opportunity attacks for this?
For this, yes.
Interesting.
Any bonus action?
Yeah, he will again throw his javelin at this one to give Bergen a little helping hand there.
Get him. 15. Ooh. That meets him. No, you're good.
12
Solid.
radiant damage. Very solid. I had to read this thing again and see. You're good. That's the end of Goldbrand's turn. I'm just reading
Okay.
to see if I can
Davos.
pull him with a black hole again next time I'm attacked.
As you're sort of caught between a rock and a hard place over here, you watch as this black bit of mist swings around and the form of Jasper appears behind you near the cart.
Yeah, no, it was gonna be. I still do it. I'm ignoring. I'm going to do the green flame blade, and if I
Okay.
hit, it will do an extra 7 + 2, 9 damage to both of them. I'm going for purple, by the way. 23 hits
A 23 does hit, yes sir.
for 9 damage plus the, what did I say? 9 damage
9 plus 9?
on purple, but just 9 on orange.
Okay. So I'm sorry. So you're saying both proc on purple, but only one procs on orange, yes?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing you, but
Sorry.
no, you're good.
I'm mumbling a little
drop-
bit.
No, you're fine. No, I get it. It's, all right, solid. That brings us to Jasper, or unless you have a bonus action, I'm sorry. Or another, anything else you want to do.
Can't do a cantrip and a spell, huh?
A cantrip and a spell you can, because it doesn't use a spell slot. It's weird,
Oh,
but
crap.
it works.
It's too late for that one. Alright, I'm gonna do... Nah, nothing. Sorry. I'll wait.
Okay. No, you're fine. You see as Jasper appears in the back, and he takes a step toward the cart, and uses his action to unlock it. Reaches in, and pulls out someone. No one you know, not Helena. But you hear him say, and you would have fetched a fine price. And you watch as this person begins to wither. Their body shrivels. Their skin grows dark. Their flesh begins to slough off of them. You hear screams from within the wagon as he absorbs this person's life essence. and looks, while still likely bloodied, revitalized. That is his action and bonus action and his movement. So that brings us to the veterans. This guy is no longer blinded. He did use that thing earlier. He's going to take 2 swings at Davos. 14 plus 5 is a 19. That does hit. Take 8 damage, Davy boy. And then Goldbrand. Ooh, I think both of those hit. Hang on. Oh, no, that's a 6, not a 9. Excuse me. So that's an 11 and a 19. You take 8 points of 4 points of slashing damage. Send your Goldbrand. As we go to Bergen.
Yes, I will. Can this mace move through shit, like to here?
Like through people? Yeah. Technically, things can move through a creature's space as long as it doesn't end it there. So yeah, you could get it closer. This gets a little tricky though because you can't see Jasper technically. He's technically like right here behind the wagon. I know it's a little hard to tell with his big token.
Can I see the purple dude?
You can see purple dude. You might still be able to do it on Jasper. Within 5 feet of the weapon. It doesn't say that doesn't say that you have to see it. So yeah, it could take a swing on him.
All right, cool. So we're gonna do that. Let's see.
Gotcha. Ten does not hit, unfortunately, my dude. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 10 all days with that.
Your action?
Action. Let's see. I'm gonna hit Gulbrand with. What is it?
A shovel. Sorry, I thought you were taking
Shovel
with a not that one. This one.
Healing word, solid.
Oh, did I
Brandon.
cast that right? Did I add the modifiers and shit?
Let me see. It's grayed
Yeah,
out
I
for some
did.
reason, which is kind of
I
weird.
think I did.
It's,
Oh yeah, it add the +8.
It's
Yeah.
green, isn't it? You have night
Oh,
mode?
I have dark mode, so maybe it's
yeah,
popping up
it's
different.
green. Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay.
Mine's dark mode too, and it does look kind of gray, but I'm pretty
I
sure
see
that's
what you're
supposed to be green.
I got you now. Thank you. Yeah, both of you get 14 points of healing, Goldbrand, as your clericy boy from down the way gives you a little boost.
Appreciate
That brings us to the bandits. All 3 of them are still standing. 2 to Bergen. Ooh, that one does hit. Bergen, take 6. Goldbrand. A 12 does not hit. I'm sorry. 8 plus 5, 13. 13 doesn't hit.
Nope.
Okay.
Had to
And
look.
to Davos.
It's-
Ooh. That one doesn't. 17 doesn't hit.
Yes,
Davos?
19, pretty sure.
19? Okay. The 20 does hit, so take 6 points of damage, Davos. As we go to Taliban.
Tal's gonna keep going on red right there.
Get him.
He would have killed 3 people if it was Desmond playing by now.
You're right. Desmond is hacked roll 20 somehow. 8.
So,
Okay.
But he gets sneak attack for that, right?
He does. Roll well.
Was that the bonus action? I accidentally rolled that as bonus action. Does that matter?
You hit it, so we'll say it, That's
Doesn't
good.
matter. Sorry.
Roll your
let me-
sneak attack.
Let me find my sneak attack. Roll it, damn it. His is weird. I have to go
You need
click
a
the
4.
second button. Nerd.
You watch Tally gets this guy and it hits him in the shoulder blade, but immediately like the side of his head just splatters blood onto the canvas of the wagon, and you hear more screams like rising from inside.
Thanks
Anything
to
else?
Booth Guards, because that helps Goldbrind a whole bunch for something he's
Yeah.
gonna do. That's his regular attack or his bonus action, whatever.
To
That's his second attack. It's gonna be to the green one.
Okay, that does hit and does 10 damage. This guy looks relatively fresh. I think that's the first time he's taken some damage.
Yeah, I don't think Goldbrand's tinged him yet.
All right. Anything else, my dude?
That's all he can do, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Goldbrand.
Alright, Goldbrand's going to, and I know I'm going to get attacked, move. These are 5-foot squares?
Yes, sir.
5, 10. Go ahead and roll your attack.
For the green dude?
The green dude, yeah.
He doesn't get to make them both. That's a 12. No, sir.
Cool. 15, 20. Is that within reach of Jasper?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to use my action to grapple him, please. Is this an
Grab on.
athletics? Is this an athletics check or a strength check?
I think grapple is athletics or acrobatics, whichever you choose.
Hold on just a second.
Oh, I'm in the wrong page here.
I have advantage on strength checks and saving throws. Is this considered a strength check or an ability check? So not the same thing.
It is a strength ability check. It's a strength-based ability. I would say... I'll look it up later, but I'll say that works.
He gets advantage too.
25? Oh, fuck. That's going to be hard for this... That's going to be impossible for this guy to beat.
10,
Oh,
15.
wait. He has a +5 to athletics, so if he gets a 20, which he didn't, you grab onto him and you watch for a second as he tries to go Corferial again, but can't quite muster it, and
So
you have
here's-
him locked into place.
Here's the best part. I have 25 feet of movement left. Dragging someone is half speed, so I can move him 10 feet, technically
Correct.
12 and a half or whatever, but he's going to move him... I want to move him towards Davos, but Davos has his hands full. Not to fuck up Bergen's spiritual weapon, he's going to drag him 10 feet this direction. However far you say, he'll try to drag him maybe to here.
5, 10...
He's
move
just
back
trying to
one more
drag him
square.
away from the wagon. He's literally just trying to...
I got you.
Nope, I see where you're putting me.
Yeah. You're technically in this square here, and he's in this... I'm going to move him up one, but he's about 10 feet away from the wagon.
So, I don't remember exactly what grappled in 5e means. I need to see exactly...
He's
He can't-
restrained?
Well, no, he can't move. He's not restrained. There's a difference.
Gotcha. Restrained means you can't move.
Okay, yeah. So the only thing is his speed becomes 0, can't benefit from any bonuses to his speed. Condition ends if I'm incapacitated, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so I'm going to use my bonus action to try and throw my javelin at him, but it's a disadvantage. I don't have
Okay,
any
yeah, because he's
advantage.
within 5 feet, correct?
Yeah, I don't have any advantage or anything to offset that. Oh, well.
Oh, yeah, no, that still hits. Roll some damage.
Goldbrind stabs him
You,
with the starry javelin.
you guys watch as Goldbrand grabs onto this dwarf and drags him away from the cart before drawing back his hand. And I imagine as he does, the starlight javelin forms and he just shoves it into him. And this dwarf is
That's what's fucking
genuinely
rude.
scared of you. Yeah.
Goldbrand's trying to put him in a rear naked choke.
All right, that goes to Davos the Dawnbringer.
Before I do that, I'm going to cast Divine Favor as a bonus action. Concentration, extra 1d4 radiant damage on a hit.
Okay.
Then I will do another green flame blade. I'm going after purple again. That's going to be an extra 5 damage on a hit to both. Nope, a 12 does not hit.
A 12 does not hit either. Well, you get to add the d4.
Well, that's damage. Sorry. I think, pretty sure damage, yeah.
Okay, never mind then. Yeah, sorry, my dude.
Right. But it's concentration, if you'll help me remember that.
Yeah, I've got a marker on you.
Alright,
All right.
cool.
Anything else? Anything else, my dude?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
As we go to Jasper Grimm. Oh, purple's not really looking that good.
You can still do everything but move.
Yeah. It's technically a bonus action? Yeah. Okay, so he's going to take 2 swings of his scythe towards you, trying to pry himself free. Ooh, I think both of those hit. A 21 and a 23.
Mhm.
Take 16, half to 8. 8 points of slashing damage. And he's once again going to hit you with the little life steal. 6. 12. You take 6 damage, and he gets 12 hit points back. That is his last use of that ability. As the blade sucks up that blood one more time, it grows dark for the first time since he used it, and you gather that he won't be able to use that again. He
Sucks
can't
to
use
be
his
used.
action, uses his bonus action. Okay. He actually he looks over at Davos. He says, "What a pity that your father worked all his life to raise an honorable knight, but in his hour of need, you played the fool." And with that, the veteran in front of you takes a strike. One of those hits. 22?
Yeah.
What was that? Okay.
Yeah.
6. Did you want to say something back to Jasper?
I was gonna save her for when I attacked and said, "Get bent, Zen."
Get bent Zent. He's not Zent, but okay. Take 6 points of slashing damage. Veteran B. Oh, you guys killed him. Okay. Bloop. That brings us to Bergine.
Okay. Bonus action base, purple guy.
Get him. Get him.
Ciao. 10. Like always.
23. Solid. Now that hits. Roll your damage. The mace. You don't even really see the mace. You know where it is. You know it's behind the wagon, and you just sort of gesture for it to swing, and you watch as it just comes down and crushes this guy. Finishes off purple. What else you got, my man?
Action. Gonna take a swing at the guy in my face.
Get him. Nice. Roll that damage.
Oh, shit, hell yeah.
Get it. Did that
It's not
double
your
like it was
crit, is
supposed to?
That's not. Roll another d6 for me.
Another d6. Alright.
Solid. So 12 damage to that one.
So I'm just guessing, Spencer, that you clicked the damage dice on D&D Beyond when you rolled that. Is that right?
The hit die, or which one are we talking about?
But you used your character sheet to roll that.
Yes, yeah. Indeed.
When it
yeah.
crits, if you hit the name of the attack, it'll roll the extra crit damage for you.
Yeah, he's talking about in the Roll20 window, like the chat Roll20 window. You can actually click the name Mace of Magistar, and it'll do the crit damage for you.
Yeah.
Look at that. These
Yeah.
three lower thugs out survived the veterans. That's almost funny. This one,
It's because I'm rolling for tally.
5, 10, 15, 20. I'll say that's difficult terrain for 25. He's tired of being barraged by arrows. He's gonna move, or by knives. He's gonna move his way up to Tally. So the Bergen take 6 damage. Tally, who I think both of those hit. Does a 16 hit Tally?
Let me check real quick.
Pretty
Yes.
sure it does.
Yes,
Okay,
it
yeah.
does.
He takes 12 points of damage. And Davos, 13 does not hit. All right, so Davos takes nothing. You're good. As we turn to Tally, now dueling this guy on the edges of the rocks, looking like something out of The Princess Bride.
You think Tally's probably going to cast Dissonant Whispers, but give me just a second to write down 12 hit points.
Oh, I'm sorry. If you tell me his max, I'll deduct it.
He has 57 hit points.
57, which means he would be down to 45.
Alright,
it
let's
12
see.
yet?
Yeah, 12.
Alright.
So, let me double check Dissonant Whispers here. How's that guy look as fighting Tally?
This is the one that didn't take a whole lot of damage early on. He's the best looking on the field, TBH. Probably counting you guys.
Yeah, he'll probably use Dissonant Whispers.
Okay.
Oh, that sucked.
What's
DC
the save on
14.
that?
It's a
14
DC 14
wisdom.
wisdom save.
So get to add to that. 1. 15. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, hang on. I'm looking at the veteran, not the bandits.
A shitty
They
series of
have a
rolls.
0.
2 ones.
Oh, but he still meets. It's a 14. Yeah, I'm sorry, my dude.
Well, that was an action to do, so he'll use his bonus action to throw his last Kai Kareem.
If you use the strength one, you don't have to do it at disadvantage.
Really? Interesting.
Because it is technically a thrown attack.
There's probably no sneak attack with that. Doesn't look like it hits anywhere.
And that does not hit, yeah.
That's okay. So.
That brings us to Goldbrind. The dwarf just tried to carve into you, and sucked out a bit of your life force. What do you do?
So here's my real question. So what I want to do mechanically is take my attacks, but can I flavor this as Goldbrand trying to like literally choke him out?
Is your intent to like knock him unconscious?
Yes.
Okay. For strict flavor purposes, we'll allow it. Yeah. Go ahead and make your swings with your axe like you normally would, but we'll just reflavor the damage. Both of those hit.
So he's technically raging, so that's 13 and 11.
13
No,
and
at
11.
the top of his turn before this, Goldbrand, after he
Hang on one
mounts up
second,
to
I got
Davos, will go,
13.
shut the fucks up, and just start trying to choke him.
24. He is in rough shape. He is near critical. And that brings us to Goldbrand. Or, excuse me, brings us to Davos. As Jasper looks over at you and taunts you. And he says,
Oh look, I just stopped.
Come, Dawnbringer. Show us that you are worthy of the title.
And in that instant, fucking third level guiding bolt.
Blast
love
him, my
it.
dude. Blast him. Roll well, roll well, roll well.
No, 7.
We were about to
Goes
have like
wide.
What?
a Piccolo and Goku moment. This was about to happen.
Oh, that's rough. No, that's real rough. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. Well, hang on. Grappled. Let me look at this real quick.
Speed 0. He doesn't get advantage or
Does it get
anything.
advantage?
And I can't restrain him. I don't have the feat that lets me
Yeah.
pin him.
That's tough titty, my dude. Tough titty, said the kitty when the milk ran dry.
Don't worry, Davos. We can torture and question Sims after I finish choking the life out of him.
Well, he still has his bonus action. You got something you can pop him with, or if you want to.
Not a spell.
Okay. Your Light of Lathander is a 1-a-day thing, isn't it?
Yep, I thought so.
I think so. Let me look one more time.
But it's also a spell. Either way. Oh no, that's no. I do
Oh,
have
you get
2 of them.
Yeah, I was about to say you get 2 uses a day, and it's not a spell. It is it's a class ability, effectively.
I'll
It is a
hit
blessing.
him with that then.
Tough titties with the kitty as the.
Forget
That's gonna stick in my head now.
on that.
Let me see what the no, not builder. God damn it! I want the chat. What was your to hit? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Do you got a hit for that? Do you roll damage for that?
Oh no, it's a save. You're right. Yes, to beat.
Oh,
Oh, he
man.
rolled a 4. No.
He's blind.
I will ask you this. What was your damage for it? 3?
I did. Is that a D6?
Yeah, roll a d6. He is blinded.
5.
5. That's pretty solid. All right, I'm gonna say retcon, since you didn't know you could use your Light of Lathander again, that you did that before your Guiding Bolt. Roll for your Guiding Bolt one more time, because this would be the advantage that it would give you.
My hero, Joey. I love
Trying to
you.
make you the hero, man. Don't.
Come on. Hells yeah, 17.
That meets. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. You guys watch as Goldbrand has Jasper in this headlock, and Jasper spits these taunts out at Davos, goading him. And I'm going to ask you, how do you want to do this?
Yell out, you be wise to not bring up my father again, and then bolt to the head.
Bolt to the head. Fatality?
If we can just knock him unconscious, we need to get some answers here.
Well, I'm actually reminded, spells you don't get to pick. It's only martial things that you get to pick with. So you watch
It's
as
only
this
13
your
damage.
blood is he don't have that though. You watch as you see Davos's blood boil. He gets a little flushed. His sweat begins to pour out of his brow. His amulet is rattling off of his chest before it bursts into this sunlight, blinding this dwarf as Davos fires off this, once again, a radiant sun of energy that blasts into the dwarf and knocks his head clean off of his shoulders. Goldbrind, for you, who is holding him in a headlock, his body just falls out from under you. And there's this brief instant where the body, like, twitches before going limp. The remaining 3 see this and try to scatter. You can attempt to make opportunity attacks. I don't think any of them will be dropped by it unless you guys just fiercely pursue it, but...
Can we try to grapple?
You can if you would like.
Would enough time pass? Like, would a round go through? Like, would Goldbrand be able to throw with his 60 feet range? Would he get a javelin on any of them before they left his range?
So, well, okay, if we're going to do it like that, Tally, Bergen, and Davos all get opportunity attacks. So everybody roll for that.
Yeah. Let me do Tally.
Tally, Bergen, Davos.
Grapple, so we can question the orange.
I think Joey ruled last session you cannot grapple as an opportunity attack.
Yeah, it has to be an attack action, unfortunately.
Ooh, a 6.
The mace
Tally.
A 6 does not. I thought that was damage. That's sad. Wow. Roll damage for your mace, and then Davos, did you roll to hit?
Did not.
Okay.
I think I can
Now,
cast a spell as an opportunity attack because
Do you
of
have the
Warcaster.
war? Yes, if you have Warcaster, then you can.
I will cast Sleep.
Solid. Roll your damage
At
for that.
a second level. And let's see, second level will give me an additional 2d8, so 7d8.
78, solid. For a total of 30?
Yep. I'm just going after the orange.
Yeah.
No, you
He-
suck.
He technically has 32. But you know what? Let's make you guys heroes. The 2 that Tally and Bergen are fighting manage to scamper away into the wood line. But the third one, as he begins to go away, you strum out your tune, and he halts, stumbles forward one more step, and then collapses.
Goldbrand
And with that, my dudes, we are out of combat.
I got pee.
Yeah, I about to say it is 11, so we're gonna take a 10-minute break. We'll try to cut it a little shorter, maybe closer to 5, because there's one more thing I want you guys to get to before we stop tonight. But GG, fun shit. Glad you got to murder that dwarf. Was really banking on it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a second. It's like watching a prisoner in captivity. It's fascinating, really.
Shit. By the way, I'm ignoring the dude I just put to sleep and running straight into that wagon.
Is Spencer here?
I am here.
Oh, okay, cool. Just want to make sure we had the whole party before we did. All right, right away, you snag the keys off of the dwarf's belt, and you race toward the back of the wagon and pull it open. And inside, you see several figures huddled together toward the back of it. But as soon as you come into the frame, one of them, you hear speak, and a familiar voice says, "I knew you would come. I prayed to Lathander every day that you would come back, and I knew that you would. Hundreds of times, I knew you would save me." And she rushes up to you and throws her arms around you. And as she emerges from the back of the wagon, the rest of you Oh, yeah, I'll put it.
Everyone wants to take a quick second while Davos is doing this to restrain/tie up our prisoner.
Good thinking. This will be in your game notes tab. You see a beautiful, dark-haired half-elf woman with slate gray eyes and a rosy complexion. Her eyes are bloodshot and frightened, but as soon as she sees you, they grow wide, and seconds after racing towards you, they grow misty. You all see Helena, that you've heard of. Davos' ex.
Goldbrind pretends not to find her attractive and tries to give, like,
Look at Goldbrind, eye contact and just shh. No.
No, I imagine it's like a, fuck yeah, bro, good for you. Like,
yeah, Goldbrind's over here like,
Bard's got the pull, that's where, of course. What happened to you? Like, you were gone for months, you know, they said you're royalty now, like, what the fuck?
show her your rings.
You got me a ring?
No. Oh, right. This one's mine. You know, shorter neck with the rings, whatever we have.
Imagine as lords, we probably are, and adventurers. Probably
Yeah,
Fucking,
it was,
I mean, y'all
big
in
time.
your bag of holding, you have like a small jewelry stall's worth of goods. Like, anybody who found you would just assume that you robbed an entire place, because there's a collection of gemstones and jewelry.
It wouldn't be a stretch to say Davos is wearing his share of it. That's very bard-like.
As you have this touching moment, the rest of the prisoners begin to come out, and they tell you that they're also refugees, that some of them are from Orlar. You recognize a few. But some of them are from Loudwater, from when it was destroyed before. And they tell you that this has been happening for a few months, intermittently, but every couple of weeks, people will start disappearing, and then things will settle down for a bit, and then it'll start right back up. And you all have seen the insignias very clearly now of the Iron Ring.
We have all had
We've
had dealings with these piles of bear shits before. Like, kick the headless body of the dwarf.
Do you mean crazy dwarves? Says Tally.
No, you know that. And he points to his shoulder, the tattoo on his shoulder. It's those motherfuckers that took 285s.
The tattoo. I love that. That's a Freudian slip for Goldbrand. That's like
What
it's
is
the
that?
insignia. It's like the tattoo. Yes. It's yeah.
Bergen works to start freeing the other captives.
A couple of them are pretty roughed up. They haven't had much access to water. They told you that they had to go the entire length of the caves until they got to that cavern before they actually drank, because there wasn't any water with them. And then they had to go the 2 days that they've been traveling previously. You guys caught up to them a little quicker with the airship. So they're a little roughed up. And if you'd like, you can start tending to wounded. And there's a few minor injuries, but nothing severe or life-threatening.
I would do all of that.
Tally does. Do you think was he a vampire or not? I'm unclear on the. He did some life drainy shit, but he didn't bite you. I don't know how vampires work.
I think it was that fucking... His scythe changed its colors and he stops two exits.
And if you one of you picks
I'm
up the
not
scythe,
touching that thing.
I'm gonna go check it out since it stole like 30 points of life from him.
Okay, what are you doing to it? Are you just looking at it, or are you?
I guess he doesn't have a spell for identify. Yeah,
Are you
first
trying to
You
get a
technically
thing to,
have
like,
Sirius
criticize
with
him?
you.
Oh!
You do.
Yeah.
You have detect magic, and if you do that, Sirius does. Like, once the battle settles down and Sirius comes back into the scene, you guys watch as he like sort of prowls up close to it, and then just like hackles raise up and backs away, and seems very apprehensive of it. And you've seen him do this before with something that had necromantic type energy to it. So you gather this is a bad item, but this is a much sharper response than the previous item. You've never seen him act quite this repulsed.
Buries me under a trees if it kills me. Goldbrand will pick it up.
Okay.
Nothing happens when he picks it up. He just picks it up.
Not right away. You feel the grasp of it's cold wood, and the actual scythe part of it seems to be like a very alabaster white stone. Like it's not metal like you initially thought, and it's not unlike in composition to the item you have.
Made of some kind of fancy stone.
Correct.
Magically enhanced. He doesn't. I don't know that he would. I'm saying this in a meta way because I don't know how to explain it any other way. He doesn't want to attune to it, but he would like to put it away and keep it. If that is possible.
Put it in the bag of holding, or
Sure. Like he wants to hold on to it because looks neat. Mike can check it out later. Mike can sell it, but he's not interested in trying to use it. Like he doesn't.
Gotcha.
He's got a cool axe already.
Cool. All right, so you deposit that. You also
else?
find
Yes, Dwarf got on him.
there's. Repeat that one.
That was my next question. What
Okay.
else that dwarf got on him?
You do also find about 650 gold on his
jeez.
person and the person of the guards around him. A diamond worth 300 gold. And you find a folded bit of parchment, which, when you unfold it, bears flowing italic letters that are difficult to make out. Davos, it looks like Elvish, but it's not. Like, you gather it's in that script, but it's not in Elvish itself. You can't read it. It's nonsense.
I think Valkyr might be able to help us with this.
Solid.
We'll save this. Goldbrind wants to take the diamond and hand it to Bergen, and he says, for the heals when I needed it the most. Hold on to that.
Nah, dude, that's literally what I do.
I'm sorry, but meta talk, you need that to cast resurrection spells.
Oh, what is it?
It's a diamond.
It's a diamond, but like some of the like Revivify and Greater Resurrection and Raise Dead, most of those spells
Oh, it's
require a
material.
diamond of some type of value. Most of the material components we just assume you have in your spellcasting focus.
Right. Okay.
But this is the one thing you have to have is like
Yeah.
if it has a money value beside it, like a gold worth 500 gold or whatever, then you have to have that item.
I got you.
It's the only thing Joey and I usually keep track of as far as material components go.
So once I get like rich enough, can I just like take gold
Yeah.
and buy diamonds? And
Absolutely.
steal my-
Not in your town per se. I guess you could
Right.
order them. Like they do, you could do that through the merchant, but they don't
Yeah.
carry them for obvious reasons.
Right.
Like
Because you can imagine a 300 gold diamond's a pretty sizable diamond. Like it's
Yeah.
if you would also gather that if you were to upgrade your shop, your merchant, they could get finer goods and stuff like that. But not at your current level.
Right.
But yeah,
Now,
Goldbrind doesn't do that.
I
so-
will say that when Davos looks at it, if you take a moment to look at the note, you do realize a few of the names look familiar. Like you realize their names and not their proper nouns and not words. And you see Malinia, Anessa, Helena, Timpani. Jesus Christ.
I point out that these are the names of my family.
Ooh,
So-
Heard that
yeah.
they got the names of my family on this note.
Sounds like we need to eliminates this group's entirely. Who wants to maintains the integrities of your families.
Yeah, it's bad news.
Tallies can use. Do you have the iPhones?
He pulls out the mirror. Who do you call?
Gulbrand. Gulbrand wants to call Daphne.
Okay.
I don't, this obviously won't bear fruit anytime soon. But long story short, he says he will maybe not because he doesn't want to fill her in on exactly everything that's happened. But the basics is that there's this group 285s may have told you about, the Iron Circles. I need every piece of dirt that you can possibly get on them, preferably where we might find the bulk of their peoples. Please let us know
Absolutely, my lords.
when you have these informations.
100%. We'll have it ready upon your return. And immediately you see her. She's asking 285 to pull certain books from the shelves to like help her with the library. He's alphabetizing. It's helping. Anything else that you would like me to do for you, my lords?
He can alphabetize. Can he read?
Keep,
Learning.
guard on mom and sister.
One more time.
Keep a guard on them. Keep them inside the keep. Extra protection.
Keep your family.
Yeah, like
Absolutely, yes.
make sure they always have an escort.
Do you want us? If you take, you don't only have 5 minutes for this, so I imagine you fill her in on the situation. Would you like for us to dispatch people to come pick up the people, the imprisoned?
Yes.
Are you?
We're pretty far away.
And we gotta go to Orban.
You're about 4 days away from Nightstone.
I think maybe we can use the ship's Davos to help get them to a safer place.
Yeah, we also gotta go to Orban.
Perhaps we can take these people's backs to Loudwaters. They can get on the ships with your peoples and goes back to the Nightstones.
How many are there? Can they just chill on the ship while
There's 8 altogether, and
Two.
oh, I did move you guys to the map. You guys are down here. Loudwater is where you guys just left. You guys are most of the way there. You're about here.
I can't see that. Hold on.
I'm sorry.
This wasn't in that section of the map.
I'm beneath the Star Mounts in the High Forest. If anybody can't see the, you know, to head to Orbar, you would have to pass by Loudwater anyway, so you would be able to get them there, and then they could secure transport, as the previous residents told you. Is that what you wish to do?
It's up to the Loudsmouths.
Quiet today.
Yeah, that's fine. We can do that.
Okay. You guys load up into the ship, and we'll expedite you getting to Loudwater, reuniting Helena and these other refugees with their people. And upon your return, once these people are returned to their homes, you find that other refugees want to go with you. That people from Lork, a neighboring city, about the same size as Oralbar, was destroyed. And that some of the people here are not all from your city, but from the area, and they want to know if they can join Nightstone as well, if they can go and try to make a life for themselves.
Do we need to ask Daphne's our capacities? Devin can't simplify that.
Yeah. That's a good question. I don't know. I would say just send them and maybe worry about it later. They are refugees.
That's a good point. Goldbrind does want to give Davos as much shit as possible on the flight back to Loudwater. Make sure Davos' face is red as often as he can make it red.
Yeah, who do you say this to again one more time?
Just in general, like on the flight back to Loudwater, Goldbrind spends as much time as possible just giving Davos shit.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything you want to say before?
Slap him.
Yeah. Is there anything you guys would like to say to Timpani, Helena, or the other refugees before you depart for Oralbar?
What about the dude that we restrained?
Oh, you still have him. I was expediting. I'm sorry. I passed over. I forgot before the. What he stirs at some point. You can question him if you would like.
Do you want me to tear his teeth out first?
What? I'm sorry.
We need him to talk. We need him to talk first, Goldbrind.
He can talk without teeth. I say
not well. Not well at all. Please, no. What do you want to know? What?
He'll ask him the same things he asked Daphne to figure out. Where's your base of operations?
Well, Skullport, mate. I mean, listen, I'm not tied up into all this. I mean, I just move people. Shit job, but pays well.
The Iron Circle. Oh, go ahead, Davos.
Dead note.
Dead note.
That note, he's
No. Yeah, can he read? Can he read that?
Oh,
note,
he cannot.
the letter?
He is an elf, but he looks at you and he goes, "Fuck no, mate. That's undercommon. That's drow shit. That's
I knew it.
This iron circles. It operates out of skull ports.
beneath it. You understand? Skullport is beneath Waterdeep.
I didn't know that. It's okay. This day operates from beneath the cities, underneath another cities.
In the Underdark, yes.
Oh, does Goldbrind have an idea of what the Underdark is? He would get the.
There's a
What do you-
concept in,
Yeah.
I would say, your lore, like of your people, that they're, tunnels that go on forever, and scary creatures, kind of like, Goliaths don't have a lot to be scared about, so creepy things from under there with tentacles in their mouths, it's I don't
Big
know.
things do kills.
Yeah. Weird hunts, don't fucking go.
Big tours, hook tours, yikes.
Sweet Jasper was an Underdark dwarf.
He was a Grey Dwarf.
A
And
Drugar.
now that you guys are out of combat, Grey Dwarfs are a type of dwarf that resides underground their entire life. They mostly reside in the lower levels of the Underdark, and they're in the similar category of drow. Like there's elves of the deep and there's the dwarves of the deep,
Drugar.
and they're usually pretty more chaotic and evil aligned than most other dwarves, and have been known to do shady shit for money.
Said where they are.
You do feel that he is a standout figure. He'll say, "Listen, fucking Jasper was fucking crazy, mate. I didn't. I've never seen somebody as high ranking as him out on one of these. I mean, I've ran this route 2 years maybe. This is the first time he's ever tagged along. And
High
beefed up
rankings.
guard more than normal too. Brought in a couple of the brass.
The brass. There was.
The upper crust, the tough, the."
I guess who
Oh.
made the call? Who ordered him to go there if he knew that?
Same one that makes all the calls, I imagine. Amergo, the horned dwarf. He's the one who, I guess, had a bone to pick.
What did I ever do to him?
Well, for one, you slaughtered a caravan of his and took all the fucking laborers he had. 12
Laborers.
people, you know how expensive they are?
You mean fucking slaves?
Jesus. Well, him high horse. Well, you've done shittier things than that, haven't you, Uthgar? Come on, be truthful.
Goldbrind doesn't answer.
Bergen, cover your ears.
No, Goldbrind's not gonna talk about that. Devin had to think about it, but yeah. Yeah.
No. Listen, if you need to get to the Underdark, the quickest way is through Smuggler's Cove just outside Waterdeep. Go to the Castle Ward, down by the dock. You'll find a shady inn. Not the Sneaky Snake. Please tell me I didn't name this place the Sneaky Snake. That's not right.
I'm a snake.
Let me back up, and I gotta go to my Waterdeep page for this. I'm sorry.
I think Sith, he's gonna say this to the group. We
Sleeping
we owns-
Snake, sorry.
We owns the castles. We can throws him in the dungeons until we are ready to go, and he can take us theirs. In returns for continuing to live another days. Otherwise, Goldbrand takes his axe out. He has liabilities.
I suppose
That's
he could rat us out.
persuasion.
Roll an intimidation check.
Me?
Yeah. Are you saying this like to audibly to get a reaction out of him?
I mean, he was not gonna say it quietly. Like he doesn't really care if he hears him. I guess he can't stop him from taking his head off.
All right, listen, man. I don't want to fucking go. Listen, I don't mind to leave the ring. It's fucking weird work anyway. Trust me, I've not liked doing it. I fell into some debt and I got sucked into some things, man. You don't understand. These people They were coming after my family if I didn't start doing something. Understand? They were gonna lock away the people I love, and as much as I hate fucking being a part of this, I can't let them do that. So you better look after yours.
Would you be willing to help us take them down?
I don't want any part of that, man. The fucking horned dwarfs are cruel as shit. God, not to mention they're tied up with the Zent and this. You'd be pissing off a lot of people, man.
Too late, Spuddies.
Well, clearly, but shit. I'm talking people who move fucking mountains of gold on this continent, under this continent, above this continent.
Is your family still alive?
A few.
So I'm just thinking, maybe if we can keep you and your family safe in Nightstone, you can continue to give us information where we could take them down. So that way more families don't become endangered.
Did you get all of that?
Yeah, to go to Nightstone. I mean, roll a persuasion check. He's conflicted. Like, he's scared of these people, but we'll see how the dice roll.
Metatalk.
I'll say you can roll with advantage too.
I was about to say Metatalk. If he's
24, you don't need
not
it.
gonna cooperate, Goldbrand's leaning towards just taking his head off.
All right, man. All right, I can send for my sister. She's up in Neverwinter, but that's not too far. Oh. All right. Yeah, I'll that's very generous of you, you know. Thank you.
We would keep your affiliations a secret from the rest of the townsfolk, as long as you continue to provide us with good information. The moment you become more hassle than help, I'll let Gulbrand take all your teeth out.
I'll tell you everything I know, man, but I was just a grunt, you know. I'll...
Congratulations, you've been promoted to espionage work.
I like that angle, actually. That's cool as shit. Okay.
I'd like to imagine at some point
yeah,
they make a call
we'll
to
revisit
Daphne.
it, but
I'm about to say, like, I want to make maybe not. Goldbrand's okay. Wise, I guess this is wise. Goldbrand, at some point during the trip back to Loudwater, would want to make a point to tell Daphne this situation and make sure that when he arrives, he's getting paid espionage pay, if that makes sense. He's obviously doing what he was doing for the money. And Goldbrand doesn't know what to pay him, but he assumes Daphne would know what to pay him to keep him.
Absolutely. She says that she will keep an eye out for him and tell Sadiri and the guard. She says that she will alert the guard of his past, but not the everyday citizens.
Cool.
For security reasons, of course. And they unless you say otherwise, but she suggests that I should say.
Oh.
Yeah, we're talking schedules, people, like when they do it in Loudwater or whatever, like everything he knows, and then we're gonna stop him, Batman style.
All right. All right. Anything else that you guys want to ask of the? We're gonna move on from that. Anything else you want to talk about with the refugees before they depart? Or before they await, before they depart in the ship southward.
Oh well, nah, it's just silly stuff. Nah.
Okay.
Gulbrand was gonna buy timpani drinks, but it doesn't really.
Oh,
matter.
okay. No. You don't. We don't have to roleplay it or anything, but you could say it. No, I like that. You got for a few drinks. You guys have a good time. She, seems fun, and you could tell she's, she's definitely got a little bit of that stubborn punk energy that Davos has. Like,
I definitely do my best to make sure Goldbrand's face is as red as possible the whole time.
The whole time.
Love it.
So Goldbrand does, I guess the way I put it is Goldbrand does dote on timpani, like for the duration of while they're still there, but that would be the best way to summarize it.
I got you. Okay. All right.
More so than he dotes on the rest of the people he flirts with. Noticeably more so.
Which is a good bit.
Truly.
All right. You guys board on the airship and head toward Oralbar, I imagine. You have a battalion on the way to come take these people back home, or to help secure these people back home. Excuse me.
I thought they were taking ships.
Yeah, they are. But after 2 days flying eastward into the cloudy skies, on the morning of the third day, you find the now desolate town of Oralbar and the confluence of the Lorgran and Greyflow rivers. As if in an earthquake that had just rocked the quaint hamlet to its very foundation, each of these buildings, probably numbering shy of 24, have been laid to waste, nearly leveled. Stone that was once formed walls and pillars lie shattered, like enormous loose gravel. Thick beams of wood that once framed homes and businesses lie splintered. Wet straw litters the scarred earth. Large stones and loose trees define the edges of what was once this warm hamlet, but everything within the perimeter is just desolated beyond any semblance of repair. The only standing structures at all are these odd rock formations, unusually stacked stones balanced at near impossible angles, forming alien-looking rock towers, many of which are about 8 feet tall, but some are as tall as 15 feet. As you approach the city, you count some 20 of these towers that you could see. It's almost beautiful, like this weird stone forest, but it's so unnatural, but it's comprised of the rawest elements. It's weird. It's almost oxymoronic.
Do they look like cairns?
In an odd way, as if instead of a mound of different rocks, it's one rock, and then another, and then another, and another, just like stacked end to end, and it's... Some of them are flat stones, like laid on top of each other, one by one by one. They're all single at a time, but none of them are like... It's close enough to where you're like, this looks similar, but you don't know if it represents the same thing to them culturally.
I was raised in the woods, but this place looks like shit, Davos.
Mind your tongue. This is my home.
And
Unless you want to end up like Jasper.
damn,
I don't know if I'm infuriated or aroused. Highlighters.
scare aroused. Davos, you in particular, you see the city as what is not there, as what is absent, and you're stunned. Like, you begin walking through the ruined wreckage that was once the main street. You pass the 2-room tavern where you, Orin and Timpani, would sate your thirst and acquire inspiration for your music. Then you're home, where your mother and sister were sleeping just a few weeks ago before you had them relocated. And then you see a slumped spire. It's where the temple once stood. There's shards of stained glass that scatter and sanctify the space where you have devoted yourself to Lathander and swore to become the champion of this city. You feel your stomach clench as the uncomfortable reality of it sets in. Behind the fragmented temple, you spot a few of the tombstones peeking through the rubble along the rough hillside. Some of the stones are shattered and broken, some missing entirely.
Do I see the names on the tombstones? I didn't catch that.
You some of them are whole, some of them are shattered. You would have to actually make your way through. If you choose to, you can go over there and investigate. And while it takes you a moment to get your bearings, you eventually spot your father's headstone. And still in one piece, unscathed from the battle. You feel the sun warm you as a small fissure of the clouds lets down some light on this unusually gloomy day. And as you turn back to face the temple, you spot a faint golden gleam in the rubble, completely hidden from the other side. As you walked up, you passed right over it. And even if you were a few feet to either side, it would be obstructed. It's deeper in. It's as if you had to be in this precise spot to see it at all.
You said it's a gold light coming from a rubble? I'm gonna
From the
start
rubble
digging
of the
in,
temple, yes.
I guess start digging, try to figure out what it is.
It takes you a moment to pry loose the stones, but you find the symbol of the Morning Lord, a golden blazing sun, nearly a foot in diameter and belted with a ring of 12 ornate and golden flames. As you pull it loose, you feel the normally dull rays of the evening sun warming you, wrapping you, embracing you in a way that seems to share your lament over your home. This would stand atop the spire of your church. It's very important to you and your people. And while this is a tragedy, this gives you hope that one day this will stand atop a new temple.
I carefully wrap it up in cloth, and either in my pocket, bag of holding, whatever.
Okay. If you'd like to look for anything else in the town, you can make a general perception check. That's
try to
anybody who wants to
find-
wander through the town can.
Yeah, we're looking for Lord Amorous, so I'm looking for tracks, looking for anything.
Alright.
Tally
Uh,
will help you
would
do
you-
that. If you
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot yours was in the other one. I'm sorry. 24, solid. Or is that your previous check? That's a persuasion check. I'm sorry. I thought that said perception. Go ahead and roll for me. $17, solid. It takes you a bit to make your way through and like decipher order to this battle scene, to this rampant destruction, but after a moment you do see on the northeastern side of town a series of muddy tracks, some large, several feet across, some less so, only about a foot, maybe a foot and a half. And there's a blend of these as they head northeast along the river.
I tell the group and say I'm headed that way.
We're right behind you, Dragon Slayers.
Did you say that Tally wanted to help him with a perception check?
Yeah, do you want Tally to
Yeah,
roll
just-
or Davos
Yeah,
to
just for one thing, yeah.
roll? Wow. I'm not allowed to play Tally anymore.
What did you... Oh,
A
15.
15.
Wow. Sorry, my thing's a little slow today. Yeah, he gathers about the same. He says it's the statues aren't natural, though. This is... Do giants do this after a fight? I've never seen these before.
They looks like burial mounds. To my eyes.
So who's the gravedigger?
Fox. Hopefully he's already done his jobs.
You, Right. Unless there's anything else you'd like to do in Oral Bar, you guys can head to either... You could walk the tracks northeast, or you can ride the airship northeast. You do also have the bit of the oracle that gave you, search for Deadstone Cleft, Canyon of the Stone Giant Thane, cross the Great Forest to the Great Peaks, which you know you're now in. So you have a rough idea of what you're looking for, a canyon of some kind.
Ooh, we might find this canyons from the air is easier.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay. You guys load up onto the airship and begin to head that direction. You head northeast from Orlbar and you follow the lazily winding Logrand River. Now that you're accustomed to seeing it, the tracks, the broad breadth of this force that destroyed and decimated the town, left the earth relatively untouched. The only impressions at all are from their feet. There were no broken trees. This was no like charging through the forest, decimating it as they were heading to this town. They only destroyed human-made things. About halfway through the first day's journey, you see mountains in the far distance, which slowly grow larger through the first day's travel, giving a jagged, dark slate horizon that pairs with the gray skies. You have an uneasy night's rest, but you all do get a full rest in, so if you haven't already, do that. But complete it without issue. On the second day, you awake to cloudy skies and find the mountains to be just an hour or two away. The ship begins to weave gently as Tajin steers the ship through the valleys and over the ridges to get close enough to search thoroughly. As you begin scanning the mountainside for Deadstone Cleft, I need Tally, since he's the spotter, to roll a perception check with advantage because Kaya is helping him.
19.
19.
Still
It
one of the
takes a
shittiest
while.
rolls Tally's ever had.
Yeah, what is he? Yeah, +9. So I mean, yeah, that was pretty crummy roll. So he it takes most of the day into the afternoon, but eventually you hear a dull, drawn out, almost moan coming from the mountain. It's haunting and deep. You begin to scan the earth below for signs of its source. And finally, the seam of 2 mountain ridges. You spot it. A small crack in the stone face at the edge of this high mesa. Right where the river Logrand seems to originate from. And mists cling to the narrow passage, and small trees speckle the hills before it. As wind passes through the canyon, it produces this low, droning moan that you're hearing now. You see several caves that speckle the cliffs. See enormous carvings of stone giants that seem to run the length inside each edge of the canyon. You also see a massive collection of sticks. And as you draw closer, you realize it's a nest. And it's not made of sticks or branches, but of full tree trunks. The skies grow dim as the clouds bunch together, but after a moment you realize much of the valley below is lit by sparse sunbeams. As you turn to look back at the sky, at the sun, you see a hawk has shaded the ship. And then the hawk gets bigger and bigger, concerningly big.
No.
Unnaturally big. As a gargantuan bird with a massive, immense wingspan of a couple 100 feet. Its body is big as the entire airship you're on. The beak, the size of a horse. I mean, talons, black as obsidian with a wicked curl. And a terrifying screech echoes out as it dawns on you, and to the crew, that you are now prey to the largest creature you've ever seen. The gargantuan, the monstrous, the rock.
Can't believe I didn't see this coming.
Me neither, actually. We talked about them the other day.
I knew it was there. And,
Tajin looks at you and tells you that thing is highly territorial. They won't allow anything in their airspace. We can either drop low enough for you to jump out, or we can try to fight it, but we cannot. We have to act now. We have less than 30 seconds. Make your choice.
We ain't fighting that thing.
We ain't fighting that thing?
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, does Goldbrind know enough from Griselda stories to know that they probably need to get low?
You know it's like the apex predator as far as like...
Okay. Goldbrind will agree with Davos.
Right? Damn it. I was really wanting that one. Okay.
No.
I wanted to give you the choice, but I was like, oh... It was going to be an airship battle, but oh god. All right.
That thing would eat the dragon we killed earlier for supper.
True facts. If flight, Tajin and the Westwind Wavering crew dip the ship sharply and snap off the top of some of the spindly pines before curving unnaturally sharp to bank and drift to the base of the cliffside. You're less than 50 feet from the ground, and Kaya gives you a nod to make your leap of faith. As you leap off, you feel the familiar resistance of Featherfall hit you. You glide down and watch as the West Wind Wyvern begins to try and sail low through the trees, using them as cover as the massive rock gives chase. And it is terrifyingly fast, and its dive hundreds of feet per second. And it's now that it's flying and having to sort of navigate through the mountain peaks, this thing is, and I want to show y'all something. You technically shouldn't have seen it because, you know, you guys didn't fight it, but for scale, this seems fun. So this is a map of your airship and all of you on your airship, so you know roughly how big it is. Before you is a bird, a normal-sized eagle. And then this is the rock.
Oh shit.
It is...
Scale.
They're big. They're scary.
It's oh, yeah.
Dang.
Tiny birdie for scale. Can you see this, Davos? I'm sorry, I forgot if you can see the map, right?
Nice one.
Yeah, I can see the map. I said banana for
cool.
scale.
Banana for scale. Gotcha. This is frightening. But y'all
Man,
had
Goldbrind
cannons
wants to kill it, but Devon's like, ugh.
I feel that though.
Goldbrand sees the rock and realizes that he has nothing close to that and kills and is like, God's fucking damn it.
You're right though. It is just before midnight. But I will go ahead and I will share the image that you see as you come to this location. Oh, and actually I do have another picture for you.
Send nudes.
Oh yeah. Why didn't you ask sooner? In your regular chats, you will see another rock scale picture for like 3D size. And then
wow.
in your game notes, you will get a picture of Deadstone Cleft. No,
That's its in
there we
character.
go. Goldbrind is Rick Sanchez. Alright, dude. Well, we'll go ahead and call it a night there, and when you guys start back, you will be diving into the Deadstone Cleft. Pretty stoked. A little disappointed, no rock fight, but that's okay. Hope you guys had fun. No,
I don't know how that
I
would
know
have
that first part. Yeah, neither did I. It was so fun, like prepping it. I'm like, this thing is ridiculous. Yeah.
Like, they're on par with dragons, I think. Like,
They are a higher CR than any of the giants, except for storm giants, I think. And even then, I think they're the same as
storm giants. I think storm giants. Some storm giants can ride rocks.
They can, yeah.
It's
It is,
crazy.
yeah. It is like a, not a common
like
thing, but yes, there are those who have been.
I was about to say. I think that's like the frost. Some frost giants have rimmer haze pets. I think it's a
Yeah,
similar thing.
it's their giant pet, giant terrifying monster. And then, well, never mind. I can't say that. That's a spoiler.
Goldbrand's Devin, not Goldbrand's, gonna loot this entire dungeon for this one item he's looking for.
Actually, I'll tell you guys what. Sorry,
I'll
it's a
tell you
little dry.
what.
If you would like, we can continue for about another 15 minutes and get to a particular stopping point.
Are you gonna sell us propane accessories?
Propane accessories.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, you can do another 15.
Okay.
So is this an actual 15 or a Joey 15, which is more like 45?
I will send. I will tell you which door to go into to save you time. But as you approach the face of this, the large thing over here is the nest of the rock. There are 3 cave entrances on the south side that are on the exterior, and then there are also 2 a little further into the cavern, but you can't really see much beyond that.
I
Two
think
of
we
these
need to go
are-
in this one.
What a
Was I right?
was that really a blind guess, or did you?
No, it was. Like I was
Okay.
I was trying to remember,
Trying to remember?
but didn't really remember. Yeah.
from a past life, Goldbrand's like, huh, this looks like a really nice mound of dirt. The rest of this is this cool canyon with fucking giant statues on it, but this mound of dirt is just calling me home. Which is
my brain had to stretch, but
I will tell you this: the mouth of this canyon is this huge grassy ravine, and it's got this shallow but swift running river that flows through the bottom. And there's this log covered with moss that crosses the river, which is over here by the one. Bloop.
Neat.
And now that you're closer to these statues, you also realize they're not statues. They're corpses. These are calcified stone giant corpses that have been here so long they are embedded into the wall. But they're three-dimensional. They have carved to impossible accuracy. And it's very spooky. It's like, mummies, but without the sarcophagus. Like, no es bueno.
I don't like that. Don't like that. That's all.
As you come to the cave, Goldbrand, cough, cough.
This one's the closest. We can get in the quickest from here's. Farthest away from the rest of the canyons.
It's dimly lit, but it does have some natural illumination from the light itself. It is dry, and it's tall enough that you can all stand straight. And if you do enter, you hear the deep, low growls that to you are very familiar. You know this is a bear.
Gives there is that is a bear's. Gives me just Goldbrand's not sneaky though.
About the time you say this, you hear more that are closer, somewhere from your left, on the interior of this cave. And you see one standing on its hind and facing you, perhaps 10 feet away. And now that you're sort of locked with this one, you see the other one come around the corner. And one of them begins to charge you.
Gets behind me. Goran will array himself from the front of the group.
Roll a strength save for me.
So he wants to take a kind of wide-bladed stance.
And I put my elbow onto his back and hold him up some for advantage.
What? Yeah, sure. I don't know if that's the descriptor, but yeah.
A save, you said?
Like you're bracing a wall or something?
Yeah.
You said a
I
save?
Gotcha. Yes, a strength save, please.
Unless you sees a lot of bloods, do not interferes.
22. Okay. It races towards you and it tackles you. You don't quite go down. You're knocked back about a foot, and Davos, you feel this and sprain your elbow. But this bear begins licking at Gulbrand's face in like this weird dog-like fashion. And Gulbrand, now that you're up close to it, and you can feel and you can see like the coat, you know this is Bjorn. And you see its mate, Yona, the other one who's come around the corner, who also begins approaching. Starts nuzzling on your chest and your arms.
So if you allow it, so technically Goldbrind he can't reach a CR to turn into a bear by like my druid level. But if the DM will allow, Goldbrind will briefly turn into a bear, wild shape into a bear, a blue bear.
Ancestor subclass power, sure.
It's whatever. Yeah. He doesn't have to, but it's upon like being.
What level do you need to be?
He needs like 2 more levels to actually be able to turn into a bear. Yeah.
I will say you speak with animals and your features become like you begin to like rough with them and like pot them and this thing
when he
that
gets
you do.
Tackled, he just wants to roll and start.
It's just start wrestling.
Yeah.
Okay, no, and the bear is about it. Like you guys think at first like it's mauling him, but it's just like its mouth is open and flailing and like it'll like go beside him, but it's not actually biting. It's obviously playing in a fashion that you guys would recognize if you had pets. None of you put pets in your backstory. Do more pets. Moon endorses this message.
Pets in my backstory.
As you are doing this, you hear a voice call from the back, and both of you. And you say, Kodiak, I told you not to come back here. I don't care what titles you bear. You will listen to your chief. And as she rounds the corner, you see a striking figure, nearly 7 feet tall, muscular, long red hair, partially tied back, and this familiar alabaster skin. White, a little rough looking. You see dark tattoos wreathed around her arms, and that snake their way across the parts of her body that you can see. She bears a battle axe in one hand, 3 spears on her back, a dark wooden shield. She wears fur-lined leather that leaves her arms midriff and most of her legs bare, down to fur-lined boots. All of her armor is adorned with bits of bone, tooth, and talon. And you guys meet Blue. Chief Hydia Moonmusk of the Blue Bear tribe.
Oh shit.
When she sees you, she stops immediately.
I
Shocked.
feel like Goldbrind spends like at least 5 to 10 seconds like cuffing the bear before he looks over and realizes and just freezes. He's like, his big long bear tongue. He's just like, just the seconds, and we'll go back to cuffing the bear before he'll say something along the lines of "can't play anymore." And
Gotcha. Okay.
get up and cancel his spell.
Hey, Goldbrind.
Yes.
Those are a nice pair of bear legs.
You have no ideas.
Bear legs. I love that.
Lords of Nightstones. This is my wife, Hydeas. And Goldbrand he'll stand like in between the group and Hydia, but he won't come much closer, and he's not going to stare her down, but he's not really going to say anything. She will try to take her measure first.
Yeah. After a moment of like stunned silence, she walks over to you. And she goes to slap you. Do you try to avoid it, or do you...
Not the first time.
Not the first time? Alright. I'm gonna roll... Oh, she is a... Okay, hang on. Let me pick a bigger die. Take 7 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
I would have done the exact same thing.
Like, yeah, I deserve that. There's some stuff.
Johnny Depp style.
She starts in Bothi. 2 fucking years. 2 fucking years you've been gone. And like 3 weeks ago, some lady pops in my head and starts telling me that you're alive? What have you done?
Sorry.
Why are you back?
Sorry, Goblin knocked my camera off.
What took you so long?
What took me so long, huh? Wells. There's quite a few answers to all of those questions, actually. Oh, boys. Where do I start? So she's obviously already aware of what prescience is. Like, she has a background for all of those things.
Yeah. I mean, you were married to her during your time as Starkeeper in the tribe, yeah.
He says, I mean, he would have told her why he left originally, that he thought the path
I thought
was
you were going to be like a couple of months, maybe, or a season or 2, but 2 fucking years, Gulbrands.
You see the children's behind me. They are...
What a jerk, slap him again.
She turns to you and says in common, and who the fucks are they?
Hold on. These children's are imperatives. If I cannot keep them together, there may not be any Goliaths or small folks left on this continent. It is imperative that I do so. I did not think it would take me... He goes kind of like this. Did not think it would take me so long to find them. But you know it is... I am obligated as Starkeepers to follow the paths, to preserve the paths. If they are not together, the path is not preserved.
She says, I understand that you are doing what is good for the continents, but while you do that, your tribe suffers. We were attacked. Kavan is... And she drops her head a bit. He didn't make it. And then we were attacked again. And again, the roving became more difficult. There were more guards along the roads that we ran into. There were legionnaires. Kodiak's first claw now. I figured that you should know.
Goldbrind know if a fang has ever become a claw?
It's not uncommon. And, it's not, a few times, maybe once or twice a decade, but not, a frequent thing. If you say anything about it, she does say...
well, he would mention that it must be desperate times. If that little fuck sticks is first claws. Your mother's told me that's the tribe is weakest.
Her eyes shoot up with my mother's. What? She's gone as well, Goldbrind. You can't have...
Did you send tribesmen to Stone Stands?
Her eyes rise up. You talked to her at Stone Stand.
Briefly.
I see. We did send tribesmen who came back to tell us that the tree and the Akarin had been raided. I have heard from other chiefs that it is happening all about.
More or less.
I don't know if... I didn't know what to do. Mom's was gone. I had to do something. We were getting weaker. Kavan died. And I thought that maybe if we made some allies that we might survive. Because I didn't know what to do while I was waiting for you to save the world. We're aligned with the stone giants. For now, I guess. They were growing too intrusive, and if they occupy the small ones, then we hide in their lair. It just... Sleeping with Big Bear does one well at night. That sounded weirder out loud.
I mean, from Goldbrand's perspective, he totally
Yeah,
gets the
I'm trying to be colloquial, but
yeah,
it sounded creepy instead.
Sorry, I'm being quiet because you're making Devin sad. You're making Goldbrand sad.
Oh yeah,
you're making Devin sad.
She's yeah, intentionally, she's pissed.
She's going through it.
Did you lose your tongues out there?
Yeah, sorry. Devin was prepared for you fucking dick. I'm gonna kill you. Devin was not prepared for. Oh my god, this shit sucks. Please help me.
Why are you here? Say some things.
Oh god.
And what's the fucks is that? She says as she points to your ring on your hand.
Oh.
Which is easily the most gaudy thing on your entire wardrobe. Like everything else, and actually about the time she does that, she looks at the axe on your back. And she doesn't recognize it. It's not as if Gert's great axe that is recognizable to all, but it's of a familiar enough to where she's... And who's the fucks made that?
What time is it? It's the day in the moment?
It's relatively afternoon, You guys leapt from the ship and this was your first spot. So yeah, afternoonish, 3s, 4s.
Alright, so the first thing you ask, is it safe to speak Hears? Can your new patrons hear use Hears?
She says, no, as I told them I needed a place elsewhere for the bears for easy hunting access. They let me stay out here with them. The rest are further within. We can speak in the back. If we keep the bears up front, they'll tell us if there is something to be concerned about. Also, and she points a hand up, and you see a small bear cub just sort of wander out.
Oh,
Perhaps like
who the
maybe
fuck is
a year old,
this?
maybe a little under. And she goes, she sort of shrugs her head and goes, Bjorn and Yona got lonely, I guess.
Goldbrind wants to like probably the first time y'all have ever seen Goldbrind be tender. He wants to like pick it up. He wants to treat it like a baby. Picks it up, goo-goos at it, and
Yeah. His
know,
name
holds it
is
up in the air.
Arkodas. Arkodas is his name.
He just generally spoils it. I imagine Goldbrand's big enough to like literally hold it like a baby. And,
Oh
like,
yeah, it's like a medium-sized dog. You're definitely like, even to you, it's almost more puppy-like than it would be to like, you know, anyone else in the party probably. But
Goldbrind
yeah,
gives-
it's playful, and you know, you're still like 100% about, even without speak animals, you're just with the bear vibe so well. Why do you do that to my eardrums, Devin? With that, my dudes. 12:19. We can hop off now because I don't want to be, you know, Joey's 15 minutes. I'm already 5 over, but if you guys are good, we can keep rolling for a second.
I'm gonna have to
Few
bounce,
more.
unfortunately.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
and I get it. But when we pick up next time, we will. Let me give him a second to
Yeah,
demon cat. Good for use. Yeah, like that.
found a gremlin.
We were just saying that since it's about 20 minutes past and it's been Joey's 15 minutes, I should probably go ahead and call it a night, my dudes. But hope that
Sorry
you
about
guys
that,
had
y'all.
fun.
Everybody meets Arkodas.
He's pretty adorable. In canon now, he's black like that. That's Goblin, by the way, which is the nerdiest fucking name, and I love it. Like,
Look at this fucking face and tell me that's not a goblin.
he is a
Tell me
dark
that's not a house goblin.
he is a dark blob of light. I see. There's an eyeball. There we go. All right. But hope you guys had fun. Take care of yourselves. Love you guys. And is it Friday yet?
Yeah,
Bye, dude.
yeah.
Have fun.
See y'all later.
Do crazy hacker shit. Like make Oh, we need to. Oh god. Actually, before you go, have you seen the Black Widow 69 at AOL.com? You need to see. I will send you something later. It's Critical Role related. But yeah, it's a bit they do at the start of campaign 2. But
Well, NordVPN sponsors the show.
yeah. But yeah, but dudes, be good. Take it easy. And
I'm in.
hasta. Oh,